That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Hey you guys, targeted citizen here. Me and the boy had to make a grocery run real quick. Got the perp gang stalkers calling as soon as I leave the house. Go to Food Line, and just as soon as we get here, the parking lot fills up, don't it, boy?
Yeah.
They start running in there. Guy gets out of his little red Chevy S10 here, gets out, grabs his phone. He's looking at his phone the whole way. Doesn't realize that I'm the perp, that I'm the targeted individual he's chasing. Walks in just staring at his phone. Here comes another one. That guy right there, he's a perp. Then called him out. Walking around, stalling. See him?
That's a Food Line.
Yeah. No, they. Nope. See, comes in here. What guy comes in on a Friday night to buy a broom?
Good, that is really
On
funny.
a Friday night to get a broom. Look at that.
I guess his broom broke tonight when he was sweeping the floor.
Broom must have broke on a Friday night. Bless his heart. The other guy, he's getting ready to come out. He's running around the store trying to find us. Look, he's still in there looking for us, Mason.
He don't know
Look,
it's
look,
us.
he's looking up and down the aisles. Look, he's looking up and down the aisles trying to find us.
He don't know it's us.
Yeah, guy's coming right in behind us, trying to find us. And that one guy, I called him out in the center aisle, yelled, "Gang stalker!" He just took off running. This other guy, I don't know if you can see, he's still in there looking for me.
Yeah, he's right there with the ball, with the.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I can't even leave the house and go to the store, and within 3 minutes, if I say I'm going to the store to get something, boom, they're all on the way. Look, see, they're all rolling in to get that government money.
Just for money.
All running in here to get that government money.
I guess they just want money.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is how it is. Every time I leave the house, if I announce where I'm going, boom, they're there, waiting. Every single time. See, look. They're sitting over there just waiting.
They're waiting for us to pull out.
Yep. Why do you put your son through that? I don't put my son through this. My son sees it before I do most times. When you're being followed, when you're being stalked like an animal, you learn to know it. And if you don't know it quick, then you're in danger. This is the life. It's not me doing this to my family. It's the gang stalkers doing it to my family. Oh, yeah, guys, by the way, somehow the information, the video got lost, but, here's another one. See, right there? Nothing in his hand.
Did you see him look at you like?
Yep. See, nothing in his hand. Comes in the store.
He's just gonna go get some flowers.
Yeah, nothing in his hands. Nothing. Comes right in behind us. See?
What?
He gonna go out there and smoke now. But sitting on the recliner about 5 o'clock this afternoon, somebody's knocking on the door, and I'm watching a video from guy's name's like Daniel something or other from Great Britain. Anyway, first time I'd really checked out any of his videos, but a cop was harassing him, and the cop looked just like Officer Morrow's that harasses my family. And I just told Sweetie about it. I said, "Hey, honey, come in here and look at this video. Look just like Officer Morrow." She's like, "Oh my gosh, it does. So 2 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. The same cop that I caught talking to the guy in the white four-wheel drive at the airport I told you about, I found that video today, by the way. That same cop, it's the same exact cop that kept me from filming the gas explosion also. That same very cop said, knocking on my front door. And this is like the 5th or 6th time now. They said, "We've had an emergency 911 call from your house, and there's a kid screaming in the background." And it was a hang-up call. Now, this is about the 6th time that, here, and these people right here, this whole crowd of people walked right in behind us too, trying to catch us here.
Yeah, I saw them.
There's 3 other people with them, but 5 people to come in here and buy a little bit of groceries. Anyway,
There he is.
and here comes the other perp. But this is the 5th or 6th time that 911 has been called from my house now for an emergency. One time it was for kidnapping. Another time one said that I was holding her hostage inside my home. Another time something like, I don't want to speculate, I can't remember, but it was an emergency phone call. But every time this happens, they call from a number that's been disconnected, and beyond it just being disconnected, it's from a deaf mute computer that does an auto dial to 911 to call my house, to send her to my house. That's the harassment that I'm under. And now, since I just started talking about that dialer, now my phone was at 60%. Now it's all the way down to 15. All the way down to 15 because they don't want me to record this jerk off coming out. Runs in, staring at his phone, and I could see the screen. First time I've been able to see the screen, but it literally looked like a GPS, It looked like a map of this exact place, a Food Line parking lot, and there was a star or a little blue dot on it. And he kept walking, trying to get faster to looking at it, looking ahead to see where I'm at. Tracking me. Tracking me.
I think I see him.
Yeah, he's in there stalling because I'm sitting outside.
I think he's like.
I don't know how long this is gonna record. Yeah, I don't get the privilege of being able to not look over my shoulder. I don't get that privilege of just enjoying life because I'm stalked everywhere I go. This is the Nazi stalking program, just like they did when they were chasing Jews. The exact same way. They perfected it. There comes another one. See? They all come swarming in.
Look.
Yep. And the whole parking lot, and they got to park right here beside me. See? The whole parking lot, and they can park right beside me. But I can't get this guy coming out of the store. He's in there literally killing time. Killing time. But the phone's going dead. It's going dim. Ain't much else I can do about it besides just keep staring at the perps. I'm glad that everybody can make money off stalking me. So here he comes, all rushing out.
Did you guys see those New World Order elite stalkers? Let's just back that up.
Can make money.
Right there, those two. Definitely those perps right there are elitist shills, obviously. Folks, that's an intense video to start with. And you know what's more disturbing that he has a kid in the car learning this behavior? Is that apparently he said that he does drills with his family. Drills. I don't know exactly what's entailed in these drills, right? I mean, one can only imagine, but I mean, can you imagine this guy like being a kid and this guy like, kicking open your door in the middle of the night, telling you get on your, hit the deck, get on your belly. You got to like crawl out as if there's snipers fixed on your home. Like it's lunacy, but how much is an act? Yeah, apparently he's married and, anyways, that's a whole nother subject. We're going to get updated with a few classics. And you know what? It's interesting because I brought this up before that as I put together these things, I don't know if I do it subconsciously, but there's always seems to be a theme. And I think tonight's theme is going to be heroes. We need a hero. Vaughn needs a hero. He's putting heroes in question. We're going to get all that. We got lots of Vaughn Helm. We're going to be checking in with Tila Tequila. We're going to be touching on some of that stuff as well. But how are you guys all doing? How's everybody out there? Feeling good? Feeling good? It's been eventful. Jeepers, it's hard to even keep up with. Golly. Let me tell you, there's stuff going on in the background. Right minutes before going on here, I was made privy to something. I'm going to let that person deal with it, but let's just say things are moving in the background. Which reminds me, I have an exciting kind of announcement. I don't want to get everybody worked up too much. I can't confirm or deny. I can't get into too many details. It's still murky. It's still being ironed out. People are talking, rearranging things. A little bit later, I'm gonna just put something out there. I'm gonna leave some breadcrumbs. It has been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. It's even crazier in behind. I think it's gonna get crazier. Jeepers creepers. But we got a good one. We're gonna have it's gonna be a hot time in the old town tonight. Let me tell you, we got some gold to go over. A little bit to sift through. I haven't really even watched. We got some parenting advice from Shanny. That should be interesting. We got all kinds of good stuff. Of course, we got some Drunken Coves. You're gonna want to check that out. We got lots of Von Helton. So I don't want to waste too much time here. I want to get right into it. I got the camera somewhat clear. See, tonight we can see. So let's get into this. Oh, yeah. Just like a little bit of heaven. Just like a little bit of heaven there, folks. Not a sponsor. Definitely not a sponsor. Yeah, so I think tonight's theme is heroes. And what better musical segue than to herald back in these times of quarantine, these uncertain times of possible apocalypse, that's what we'll call it. Let's do a little travel back tonight. A little Tina Turner, ladies and gentlemen, Beyond Thunderdome. I'm going to set the tone right now.
Of the ruin, out from the wreckage, I can't make the same mistake this time. We are the children, the last generation. We are the ones they left behind. And I wonder when we are never gonna change. Living under the fear till nothing else remains. We don't need another hero. Oh, we don't need to know the way home. All we want is life beyond Thunderdome. Looking for something we can rely on. There's got to be something better out there. Another compassion. There is some. All else are castles built in the air. And I wonder when we are ever gonna change. Living under the fear till nothing else remains. All it took me faith. We don't need another hero. Oh, we don't need to know the way home. All we want is life beyond Thunderdome. What do we do with our lives? We live on
Nailing it.
Mars.
Nailing it, folks.
Open our stories, shine a light.
Look, I got to stop for a sec. I rarely do I ever stop an amazing performance such as that. But I think we got to, I wanted to set a tone. The theme was heroes, but I'm not feeling it. You know what? I think we need to get a little harder. What do you guys think? We need something hard. We need something that hits you in the gut, something earthy, something from the street. I think we need a street level freestyle. What do you guys think? Something a little harder? I got you. I got you.
Yeah, much love to the fans. It don't stop, won't stop with the things. You know what I'm saying? For reals though, Lokes became too much for this world with the things. As I continue pushing with the fans, you know, as it's never gonna stop with the things. You know what I'm saying? For reals though, you know, Lokes gonna give y'all shadow boxing with one hand. For reals though, y'all know, straight up though, you know what I'm saying? Them suckers, they don't want none with them things. You know, Lokes easily snapping his shoulder with it. You know, for reals though, you know what I'm saying? Schooling them suckers like it ain't no thing. You know, for reals though, you know what I'm saying? As I do what I does with them things, you know, straight up though. Come on, chunks, they don't want none with them things, you know what I'm saying? For for reals though. You know, I knock them suckers out, if not with my body, with my hands, with the things, either or with the things. You know what I'm saying? Too great with the footwork, with the things. Yeah, I know. For reals though, knocking them suckers out with the great timing, with the things. Yeah, I know. For reals though, as they don't want none with the things. You know what I'm saying? Straight up though, I make it easy work with the things. Yeah, I know. For reals though.
Is it just me or the pants, or is this guy like a midget? I mean, I'm not knocking him because he's short. I'm just saying this.
You know what I'm saying? As I stare them suckers with them things, loving the fans with them things. Yeah, no, for reals though. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the bouncer at the Lollipop Guild.
Knocking them suckers out with them timing, with them things. Yeah, no, for reals though. Timing too flawless with them things. Straight up though. Now let's give them on the left side with them things. Yeah, no, for reals though. You know what I'm saying? Them suckers, they don't want it with them things. Snapping that with them things. Yeah, no, for reals though. Doing what I does, loving all the fans as we keep on pushing with them things, you know, for reals though, as it's never gonna quit with them things, you know what I'm saying? As the lokes gotta keep on pushing for life, catching them on their mistake.
This is street level, folks.
With it on them suckers with them things. Yeah, I know. Straight up though, much love to all the fans, as it's never gonna quit with them things.
Like, what are the neighbors across the street thinking? Right? Like, they're looking at their fucking window. I'm sure that they're well used to this by now, but I'm just, you know, you got to put yourself in their shoes, right?
Reals, God bless the fans. As the lows gonna keep pushing for life. You know what I'm saying? Straight up though. As the fuck boys, you know what I'm saying? They don't want none with them things. You know what I'm saying? Lows hands too vicious with them things. You know, I know y'all love Crazy Loke's charisma. Like I said, take Loke's top.
All right, crazy lokes, folks. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Jeepers creepers. Yeah, it's going to be that kind of night. We got some good stuff coming up. You know, I always save the dessert for the end here. I got something special here I wanted to share with you guys. Guys and gals, elephants and Gentiles. Just give me a sec. Just want to make sure I got it in the playlist where I wanted it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, I was reminiscing last time. I think I brought up. Oops. I brought up the, you know, that I was going through the vault. I found some old videos of me poning Von Helton wearing the, you know, the tinfoil hat and the bullshit button and all that stuff. And that stuff was all cool. It's all fun. And I don't mind bringing those gags back. The ponage chart, all that kind of stuff. In fact, I think keep an eye open. You may see some of those props show up. Right. I'm just not promising anything, but you may see some of those props show up again. But, you know, it's interesting because throughout the years and after you go through it, you know that if you go back long enough with me, you're always trying to cultivate and help the next generation of farmer, right? You're trying to teach them, you're giving them tips how to plant their seeds, read the soil, all that kind of stuff. And if they take it, great. Some people get it, some people don't. But you try to leave these pearls of wisdom, right? And I pointed out lately, I don't really spend the time debunking the claims. I mean, in the early days, I went to painstaking lengths to make sure that, you know, my butt was covered, all my T's were crossed, the I's were dotted, and I would take these ludicrous claims that would drop out of these nut bars mouths on the internet because I wanted to add some validity to it, right? But it comes a time, I mean, there is a time and a place for that, of course. But there comes a time you just got to stop and shake your head and laugh at these people. And one thing I used to always say my biggest flaw when dealing with any of these people is giving them the benefit of the doubt too often. You just, you know, some people just will never change. You can't teach a dog old, or you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Give me another sip of this, just a sec. But going through the vault, it was kind of interesting because the other day I was checking out and just cleaning out and rearranging and putting stuff around, figuring what I want to do. And I stumbled across a video by some OGs giving me some advice in my early days. And I think it's advice worth passing along. For those in these times of lulls, we are entering a new epoch. There's been a disturbance in the force. The old order has felt it. We'll get into that later, but this is appropriate. I want to share this tidbit of wisdom that was shared with me many years ago when I was just starting out as a fledgling lulls farmer. This is a response to secular opinion. Let's do that. There we go. And I hope you get something out of it.
It's a matter of life. It's a matter of death. 7 killers, a voodoo witch doctor, a living corpse, a gorgeous double agent, the man with the steel arm, 12 cars, 5 planes, a fleet of speedboats, a sea of crocodiles, all against one man. They haven't got a chance.
Here, lizard. So I was watching a secular opinion video, and he nailed it on the head, but it's kind of weird because I had thought about making a similar video a week or so ago and just never did because I felt like I would be wasting my time, which secular opinion, I'm afraid that's what you're doing here. I like the video, don't get me wrong, but you mentioned in your video that you don't go hard in the paint on these guys to the point where you're going to crush them because you have a sliver of hope for humanity that these guys will finally get it. And I'm telling you, you're fucking wrong. They're not going to get it. These guys, they are pandering. You mentioned that in your video too. They're pandering to their audience, and they are a slave to their YouTube persona. So they are not going to listen to logic and reason because you can't reason with an unreasonable person. And that's, dude, I've been there. I don't know if you remember my channel back in the day. It's been shut down. It's been flagged a million times. I had to restart new channels because I tried the same thing. You have a little bit of human compassion, and you want to be able to talk some sense into these people, and some of them you just can't do it. They are connecting dots that don't necessarily need to be connected. Like, they connect A to Z, but they haven't even seen B through Y because the mainstream media doesn't show B through Y a lot of the time. And they're mistaking mainstream media for news when we all know mainstream media is infotainment, right? People tune in to watch cute little cats getting taken out of trees or find out which celebrity's fucking which celebrity or what is the new content inside of a fucking breast implant. So a lot of people on YouTube that you're going at that I've gone at before, like that guy, I can't even remember his name you mentioned the other day, talking about one of the new hoaxes about the cops really didn't get shot. I mean, these guys are a slave to their YouTube persona. They're pandering to their audience because they cannot go outside of their lane. If they do, they will lose that audience. It will no longer be captive. So this is just a video to say, bro, I know what your intent is, but you are fucking wasting your time. I wasted plenty of my own, so I can't tell you, like, you're an idiot for doing it. I'm just saying I enjoy watching it, but at the same time, I'm thinking, man, he's just clearly wasting his time because none of these guys, you will sooner be a multimillionaire selling your Tiger Rocks before these guys get what the fuck you were talking about. Because they are just, it's like you're trying to load new software on an old computer that's still on fucking dial-up. They're just not capable of receiving the download. That's just all I got for you guys right now. Sorry I haven't made a video in a couple weeks. I want to shout out PD Lumina. He called me tonight. Tonight is Christmas. It's Christmas night, so I want to say Merry Christmas. It'll be a late Merry Christmas because this one goes until tomorrow. But I talked to PD Lumina, and he said, hey, dude, I haven't seen you on for a couple weeks, so I figured I'd get on here. And we're going to be doing a lot of videos coming up. But anyway, this video is for secular opinion. Dude, you're wasting your time. You're a slave to their YouTube persona. They've got to keep that audience captive. So if you're born, ignore logic. You don't need to have any sympathy or hope for these fuckers because they're hopeless. I'm just saying. Y'all take it easy.
A lot of truth there, folks. A lot of truth. That's what was passed on to me years ago, and that's what I try to pass on to the new generation. How's everyone doing out there? I hope you're enjoying it. We're just getting warmed up. What do I got next? I think I know. Something I wanted to share. Oh, yeah. So this video I actually grabbed from, I think, Schneider Handyman. And it's not really so much that I want to spend time on what Vaughn's saying. There's other stuff we're going to get to that Vaughn has been that Vaughn has been saying lately. I just want to admire the cut of these new tank tops that Vaughn got. He got a color pack. He cycled through. He's got the red. He's got the blue. He's got the gray, I believe he's moved on to now. And I think that they are a comfortable, snug fit. What do you think? I think this displays his new man boobs very nicely. That seems like a slightly lower cut. I think if we compare it to the other ones we'll see later, I'm fairly confident. I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm fairly confident that these are women's tank tops, but we'll see.
Alrighty, and the little red sign says we are live, and it is so. And I just thought I'd hop in here real quick to, to document the fact that Alex Jones has finally agreed with me that that coronavirus was made in a lab, and it has been out for 10 years, which is what I said in my videos. Actually, I did several on coronavirus.
Look at those cups.
It's nice to see that Alex Jones and his team of thousands of people have finally put up with a guy living in a single wide trailer in the mountains of Kentucky. Yes.
I don't know, folks. Something's going on with the Mandela effect here, because I do believe that Von Helton and his mother are merging into one and the same. There's something's going on.
With no staff at all, I beat Alex Jones, David Icke, all of them, the media, everybody. I put this information out before everyone. But it's nice to see that Alex has finally caught up with me, and so congratulations, Alex. And I do mean that sincerely. That you have finally caught up with stuff that I said over a week ago. This is the internet, so you got to be quick on your feet. You got to be the first to get that out there. You got to, and I'm sorry, I beat you again. I consistently beat you, Alex, getting information out. And, I have no staff. I have no, great infrastructure of any kind. And yet I have once again beaten you with the information. I got it out before you did. It's true. It's absolutely true. Alex Jones just posted where he finally.
I think, I don't know, maybe the females can correct me if I'm wrong, but it appears, I think Vaughn is moving past a training bra. I think he's actually filling out. He's blossoming in his later years.
He confirms everything. He confirms everything that I said about coronavirus. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, those of you that are late to the party, coronavirus is totally fake. It was created in a lab. We know this for a fact now. It's not, it's not speculation. We have actual scientists who broke this thing apart and said, yeah, man, it was created in a lab. The pieces were literally
no teeth, titties. Oh, Vaughn, you're gonna do good in jail.
Spliced together. And then, if you'll recall, for those of you that actually watch my videos, I showed you where the book from a prominent woman talked about this 10 years prior, which means they had it 10 years prior. And because see, they have to tell you when they release a thing. They have to tell you. Okay, so they use this book to do so, but they have to tell you, because that is a command from the gods of creation. You cannot put anything on my people without telling them first. And so, that's what they did. And so they use this psychic, this seer, in her book. In 2020, there's going to be a massive respiratory virus. It's going to kill a lot of people, and then it's going to disappear. Then it's going to come back a few years later and kill some more people, and then it's going to be gone forever. All right, and so they put it out in her book, so that they could say that they did let us know. And of course, not many people got her book, but anyway, that's beside the point. It was out there. So the point is, good old Alex finally has caught up with me. I'm way ahead of the bell curve on this, but it's nice to know that Alex is on the job and his staff, thousands, is on the job. And, and he is right behind me, a solitary individual living in a single wide trailer in the mountains of Kentucky. So, but yeah, for now, I do have an advantage that Alex don't. I have the unnamed creator gods to impart wisdom to me where he doesn't have that. So, so that admittedly, I do have an advantage. But anyway.
Just want to put that back just for a quick second because I just observed something. I can see him getting older, getting the saggy man boobs and stuff. I mean, it happens, I guess. But I mean, generally, if you put your arms up, it's going to pull it tight. But I mean, he's got his arms up and there's still sufficient hangage. Did you guys notice that? I'm going to put it back just a sec.
Thousands is on the job. And,
Look.
He is right behind me, a solitary individual living in a single wide trailer in the mountains of Kentucky. So, but yeah, for now, I do have an advantage that Alex don't. I have the unnamed creator gods to impart wisdom to me where he doesn't have that. So, so that admittedly, I do have an advantage. But anyway, the point is that, yes, for those of you that did not know,
good Lord,
the coronavirus is a total and complete fake. It was created in a lab. They were playing with it 10 years before they released it to the public. And it was designed totally and completely to A, stop the democratic movement in China, which it did, and B, to stop Trump, which it did. Okay, so it achieved both of it.
You guys all remember back a week or so ago when he had, or maybe two now, what was it? I was right, number 49, was it? Or 50? I can't remember. Someone will have to ring my bell here and kind of help me remember. But didn't he say that the coronavirus was put out by the elites to control the Muslims, who are in turn released to take over us? Or I don't know. I can't even follow it. Anyways, I don't even care what he's saying. I'm not watching the rest of this. I just wanted to showcase his blossoming into tardhood. Oh, jeepers creepers. Let's keep this train rolling. Let's get back into a little targeted citizen. I know he's dark. I know he's depressing. I know the fact that he has children is disturbing. But in this video, he claims that the powers that be are actually teleporting things into his house. They're placing things like iPods in drawers. It's, folks, hang on to your seats. The best is still yet to come.
Hey, you guys, Stuart Pidlow on the Targeted Citizen. I'm going to do a little update. I'm really getting wrecked right now. I got a video to post from our Home Depot trip earlier today. You wouldn't believe what happened to us today. I mean, most of you don't believe it anyway because you just don't see why anybody or any government agency would put the time into driving someone crazy. But anyway, a while back, I think it's last year, I acquired a little mini scooter, a little moped scooter. Me and my son enjoyed it, loved riding on it. Well, I put a speaker on it, and I had a little iPod. So I could play music on it. Well, when I looked around, I knew I had 3 iPods. And even farther back than this, I know where 2 of them come from, but the third one just showed up, and I don't know how I got it. Well, so this time around, I go and I'm looking. This is last year at this time. I'm looking, and I only find 1. I'm like, where's the other 2? I know I've got 3. Where are they at? And we tore the house apart. We tore the house apart so much that we rearranged the house. We said, heck, we've already got the house tore apart. Let's go ahead and rearrange. So we rearranged all the furniture, made it clean, and just wrote it off as those iPods are gone. They're done. A couple months ago, we came home, and the dresser drawer was ripped out of my dresser, and someone broke it. Ripped it completely out. I mean, broke it where these tongue and groove go in there, where those little teeth go in, broke it completely out. No big deal in targeted life because that's every day is something being broken, tore up. So, because I'm poor and because I'm economical, I look through alleys and trash cans and whatever. I'm not a dumpster diver, but if I see something on the side of the road that looks like it could be used, then I'm gonna grab it. Found Sweetie a beautiful mattress, a sleep rest mattress. It's either the $600 deal or it's the $1,000 deal. So I found it and it was brand spanking new.
So he finds a mattress in an alley or on the side of the road and gives it to his wife as a present. Now, listen, folks, I've seen a lot of hucksters on the internet. This is baiting people. See, the reason that I cover this guy is I'm not making fun of him because he has a possible mental illness. I'm sure he's got issues. But this is part act, which makes the whole thing crazier, that he's subjecting his kids and his family to this nonsense. Because he has an audience of people that actually do believe this stuff. And he always starts off little things. He is trying to paint a picture for his audience of how poor he is. Oh, trust me. Oh, trust me. There is a means to give him donations to keep up the good fight against the powers that be, the perps, the enemy. So when you take that little grain of salt along with this, puts it in a whole new perspective. He's not just crazy. This is a guy, this is how you eBay, right? A mattress from the trash. I mean, we have one of two possibilities here, right? Either he's completely bullshitting and just trying to make people feel sorry for him, or he's that much hillbilly that he's actually picking mattresses out of the trash and giving to his wife as a present. I don't know. You decide, folks. I'm just here to give you the information.
So I grabbed that and cleaned it up real good and gave it to her for a Christmas gift because I didn't have any money. I told you about all things disappearing from my home. So with them tearing up my dresser, I not only found that mattress, but I found a nice rocking chair. I found a really nice recliner. I found a nice table, coffee table for my house. Also, the other day, me and my son was driving down the road, and we found this really nice dresser. Now, it's got a few scuffs and scratches, but you know what? It's like me. It's beat up, but it's tough. It's tough. It's a solid dresser. Cost nothing. Thank you, Lord, for the blessing. So we're going through the old drawers, and I'll tell you again, I looked and looked and looked and looked for all these items that I'm getting ready to show you, and I couldn't find them. Well, magically today, there's 2 iPods laying in the top drawer of my dresser, just plain as day. Just sitting there plain as day. Now, they weren't there last week because I went through this drawer last week. They were not there last week. Miraculous. Just more things disappear, show back up. Most men and older men collect knives. The top drawer is the doodad drawer where you keep all your ins and outs and your leftovers. Oh, watch stuff like that. My grandpa had a bunch of that stuff. Well, a lot of it got destroyed, got ruined, thanks to the perps. That's all I got from my grandfather when I was supposed to inherit, 50 years worth of construction equipment and trucks and trailers and concrete mixers and all that kind of stuff. I was supposed to inherit cement mixers and all 50 years. I mean, enough for 2 construction businesses. My dad sold it all off. So I got a couple of little things, and the things that I did get, the perps made sure that they got soaking wet, poured water in to ruin them. So I do cherish these little things. As I'm going through this dresser drawer, I find this beautiful little case pocket knife. Special edition is what it says on the blades. Or this is a buck here. Yeah, this is a buck. Nice pocket knife. The only problem is I have no idea where this came from. I didn't buy it. No one gave it to me, but it's in my drawer. I have no clue where it came from. Old timer. I have no idea where this one came from. I'm not a thief, and people in my house aren't thieves. You want to get hurt worse than anything, you steal. I'm totally against theft. I mean, you will come a.
That's a good point. I was going to point that out too. Is I don't know what it's with these guys and their inheritances, right? I think maybe it's just like this kind of self-important, self-righteous sense of entitlement. I mean, this is a guy who doesn't work, contributes absolutely zero to society, yet thinks that the government is spending, it would have to be millions annually, on some kind of secret project to ruin his life. Sounds legit.
Part on anybody that's in my house and they even attempt to steal, and I find out about it. But here, these nice pocket knives just arriving in my top drawer. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for the blessing. That's not the point. Point is I know that more than likely there's a targeted individual out there that this was stolen from. Just like with my things disappearing and showing back up again. Every week we find something else gone, and then something else shows up. All of our brooms disappeared last week. We could.
Oh, this is good. This is rich.
Not find a broom. Now we've got what? 5 different brooms all over the house. 3 days ago, there wasn't a broom to be found.
One showed up like in the bathroom.
One showed up in the bathroom, laying in the middle of the bathroom floor, laying down, as if it just dropped from
The kid takes his cue.
heaven. It wasn't anywhere in this house. Wasn't outside, wasn't inside, wasn't in the building, wasn't in the camper.
So they've snuck in, or they've teleported in brooms, folks. This is how they're getting at them. If you ever notice that you have way too many brooms one day, you may be a targeted individual.
Nowhere on this property, and it just showed up in the middle of the bathroom floor. So here I am again with this knife here, sir. With this knife here, and I don't know who it came from. Thank you, Lord, for the blessing, but that's not the point. Imagine this. Imagine, because just like yesterday, 911 was called to my house because somebody was in danger again from a cell phone that was disconnected. Isn't that miraculous how that works? With a kid screaming in the background. And that was probably the 5th or 6th time that's happened the past couple of years, where anytime before that came in my house and searched for me kidnapping and hiding, chaining someone up downstairs. I think that was the last call, that I'd kidnapped somebody and chained them underneath the house. Yeah, nice to have cops invade your space like that. That won't happen again. They want to come in here, they better get a search warrant. All due respect to a lot of you.
Imagine this guy all shaved up. I was just thinking that, Annabelle, I saw you in the audience there. Nick Bravo was streaming before. He's all shaved up. He's all clean shaved. He's kind of got an Uncle Fester thing going right now.
Police department, get a search warrant. But just the constant harassment. Just imagine if they get a search warrant for stolen items, blah, 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 blah. And here you've got a house full of things that you don't know where they came from. I found drug paraphernalia, and I found drugs in my home. I took them, made a video about it, posted it, and destroyed the goods. But imagine they come in your house with a search warrant and they find a bunch of stolen stuff. Well, there I am. I'm a thief. That ruins my reputation even more. It's just the feelings of insecurity, knowing that somebody can come and go in your life and ain't a dang thing you're going to do about it. And that's what the gang stalkers do. On a daily basis, they break in my damn house and do what they want to do. They come and go. They trash the floor. They trash the house. They tear up my belongings. They destroy everything we have. And not one goddamn law enforcement agency will listen. Not one of them. It just sounds crazy. Well, you take the comments from everybody on my last video about this happening, the gang stalking I went through last night at Food Line, all 10, 12 different comments of people saying they're going through the exact same thing worldwide. This is happening.
See, and here's the hook, folks. See, if you actually follow him for a little bit and you watch his live, that's what he's actually promoting. That's what this act is all. This is the audience he's feeding. He claims that he's offering an arena or a platform, so to speak, where these people can come to his chats that are experiencing being targeted individuals, and they can all they can all get together as one fucking community of victims, and somehow by donating to him, they're helping the cause. Right? You kind of see where I'm going with this? Yeah, we're almost done. We're going to move on.
And yet no one will listen. You listen to these news reports.
So this is basically what I'm saying is he's speaking for these people in his audience that he's trying to attract to his live streams, where he drops the link to donate. It's an old gag. It's an old gag.
Lone wolf shooter. I don't know why he just started shooting at that guy. That innocent guy just got shot. I don't know what happened. Think about it. What if that innocent guy was a gang stalker and somebody finally had enough?
See, this is where the talk gets dangerous, especially speaking to this, let's say, demographic that he's appealing to.
I've heard rumors of a targeted individual killing somebody, but just think about it. They will drive these people, we people, crazy. I'm not going to go into the rated X version of the things that's been done to me due to this program, but I'm going to tell you one thing. For you people that don't know what I'm talking about, you better wake up and you better start listening. Because what if I was one of your children? What if I was your husband and this happened to him? You better start putting yourself in my shoes, because before too much longer, you're not going to have an option. You're either going to be on the in crowd or on the out crowd.
This, folks, is what we call fear-mongering.
I pray for every target individual right now suffering the same hell that me and my family's going through. It is not fair, it's not right, and it's not legal. And damn every law enforcement agency to hell for not listening to us and trying to protect us. Because they're covering for the program. InfraGard and other community watch organizations created by Robert Mueller and James Comey.
Robert Mueller and James Comey, folks. They are going to, you can't beat them. Going to your cops is going to do nothing. The only thing you can do is go to his live chat and make sure you donate to him. That's really the only hope you have.
To attack anyone that stands up. Anyone. Your name pops up and boom, you're on the list, and that's it. You don't have an option. You don't have a choice.
And that's why he works. Too heavy for light work, too light for heavy work.
It's disgusting and it's criminal. God bless you, targeted individuals. I'm praying for you and I'm fighting for you.
He's fighting for you, folks.
I struggle every day, but I'm fighting for you. I need to see you fight for me in the comment section.
See, here it comes, folks.
I need to see you stand up for me in the comments when people go off on me talking about me being crazy. I need you to fight for me for once, because I'm tired of putting my life on the line and not getting anything out of it.
Here's the pitch, folks.
God told me to do it to help, and I'm not expecting anything but a prayer and a thank you would help. That'd go a long way.
And maybe just please hit that PayPal button.
Have a great day.
Yeah, there it is, folks. There it is. See, crazy, yes, but like a fox. And that's what gets me about these guys. It's not that they just go on about crazy shit. It's that they're taking advantage of people that believe this crazy shit. They're fucking welfare cases. They're fucking dirtbags. He's a we won't work, will we guy. That's right. There ain't no nation like donation. Got that right. But let's move right along here. We got some stuff to catch up with. We got an old favorite to get into. What do we got next here? Oh, yes. Miss Tila Trashy Tequila herself. She's been pretty quiet. She's been talking about going on, quote, a 30-day fast. And she's been just popping up here and there. I'm going to put the Prego thing aside. I think there is a third option that may have happened. I don't want to speak it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, was she pregnant? Wasn't she pregnant? But there is a third option that's in between there, and that's as far as I'm going to go. I just think it's interesting she's disappeared for a while. That's all I'm saying. So this video, I mean, she's been posting just these little 1-minute blurbs of nonsense, and songs and movies were written for her, and coronavirus numbers are going down in Houston because she's back. Oh, Tila who? Tila Tequila. Tila Tequila. She hates my guts. I'm banned from her channel. By the way, the first video I ever did on Tila Tequila since reopening my channel, I think is now approaching 8,000 views. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So check out a little bit of this rambling. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. This is almost a week ago. It's the last time she posted a full video. So we'll check that out. We'll skim through it. And remember, you gotta remind me. You might have to remind me. I don't want to forget. Again, not making it a big deal, but I do have a bit of an announcement. Again, just throwing some breadcrumbs out, letting you guys maybe in on a little something that might be going on. But We'll get to that in a few minutes here. Let's get into this.
Ooh, noise pollution. Hey guys.
I guess, yeah, she's moved again, and I don't know where she's living. Apparently a construction site or something.
I wasn't planning on making a video today, but oh, my children. Isabel, can you help Annabelle get out of there? She's stuck over there in the ditch. My children all... Okay. Sometime.
Oh, just excuse me while I let my kids run wild in a construction zone. Can you help your sister? She's stuck. And the kid asked if she could park in the middle of the street. Yeah, go. Yeah, kids, go play in the middle of the street. Something. Mama's got to make a video. Come on. God damn it.
So, today's a very beautiful day. There's nothing in my garage, so we're just outside playing because there's lots of space there. And it's Sabbath day. I don't know if it's, I don't know what's so freaking noisy, bro. Can y'all hear me? Even when they're like driving? Ooh, Lord. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the dark night. It's true. I will rescue you. Can y'all hear me with all this noise going on in the background? Hey guys, happy Sabbath day. I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Because I'm gonna try to talk anyways. It's not gonna be too long, but I wanted to give you all this word. If I'm a little bit lower energy than usual, it's because I've been fasting. I'm doing a 30-day fast, so I hope y'all can do a 30-day fast. But can y'all hear me? Okay, great. Anyways, I first of all, I pray in Jesus' name, Lord, let your word come. And I bind and rebuke all distraction right now in Jesus' name. So, Isabel, can you help her, please? Push her. Yeah, so we're not in a rush, so I bind and rebuke all distraction now. Okay, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I'm doing a 30-day fast. Today's day 4. I know I'm not supposed to say anything about it, but I'm just doing this so y'all can all do it with me. And it's been crazy. It's been crazy. Every time I do even a 3-day fast, I start seeing like supernatural signs and wonders happening again. And the Lord purged me. He purged me of everything that.
You're seeing supernatural occurrences around you because you're depriving yourself of liquids. If I fast, I don't know if she just means going on a meth binge for a while, but I don't think it's working. I think there's something going on with Medicaid. I don't know. Let's skip ahead.
Reminded me something I totally forgot. I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but last year, do y'all remember when I was gonna buy this guy, this like Home Depot, like one of those guys that was like, I don't know if y'all remember this, but do y'all remember last year I was gonna buy this guy like a Mercedes, a BMW. This guy that, was like looking for a job outside of Home Depot. And, I was helping him a lot with like paying, just helping him with his finances and whatever that I could. And then
So basically she was banging a homeless guy.
he needed a car so that he could get a job. And because God gave me a lot of money at the time, I decided to buy him a car. I decided to buy him a car. So we went to it's so freaking noisy. We went to go look for this car and that was for sale, and it was like $4,500. And we actually went to go test drive it and everything. And I think we got it down for like 1,000 down. It was like
Okay, I don't think math is her forte here, people.
4,500 or something, and then I got them to give me $1,000 discount, and I literally drove to the bank to get all the cash out, but for some reason there was all this, the bank was closed, and then the guy was like, no, I don't really like this car. And I remember thinking like, that is so weird, like why would you reject a car, bro? And it's a BMW, like it was like a 740 BMW that I was gonna buy him. But it was only a test. God was not actually going to take that money that, I was going to give to him, but it was just a test because he knew at a future date I was going to need a car that would be fully paid off. And so that's why God got me a car that was fully paid off, this SUV. And then yesterday, and then I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Do y'all remember that? Like me going to buy this guy a car, and some of my friends like, girl, you crazy? You're buying this guy a car? You don't even know him. I'm like, yeah, but it's just God's money, and He will give me more, so it does not matter to me. So I literally was gonna spend $4,500 on some guy I didn't even know, just of the kindness of my heart. So that's why. The reason why I'm telling y'all this story is because it's so important to do good to others, because it'll come back to you. Do good to others all the time, because, oh yeah, and then also why the Lord gave me this free townhouse, because I don't have to pay for it. It's already free. It's paid. The reason why, and then he reminded me, there was a time when my last apartment, I had a neighbor. Remember I told you my neighbor, she was like going through an eviction process. She was like having her car repossessed. And I was just praying for her. I was like, Lord, please bless me with enough money. I wish I had a lot of money so I could just like pay a whole year for her house and buy her a new car and pay off her car. I said, Lord, please, I wish you would. I pray that I get a lot of money so I could it would be so nice if I could just surprise her, be like, hey, here's a huge check. So, you can have your apartment for the whole year. I'll pay for it for you and your kids to live here. And don't worry about your car, because I already paid that off too. And so God remembered the things I did for her, and everyone. I do things like this all the time, but then I forget because I don't write down the good deeds that I do, to brag or anything.
I just happen to remember a deed I did like a year ago that I made a video about to brag about. Yeah, no, Tila's not that type at all, right, folks? Yeah, everything's paid for her by the state, I'm assuming.
So he reminded me, that's why. He said, daughter, that's why you have a car.
Look at this beautiful townhouse that she's been given.
That that's paid in full. And that's why you have a townhouse that's also paid in full. And it's all under your name because of these good deeds that you did to others. And I was like, oh yeah, I did. So guys, the reason why I'm sharing this testimony with you is because it's so important. And remember, when I did these things, I didn't have much money myself, but I did it anyways because, I'd rather just see people not, go through these calamities, and I would cry for them and pray for them and like, Lord, please. And I'm like, please, Lord, show them let me bring some goodness into their lives and give you glory. And I would cry and fast for them. And so God remembered these things, and He's like, when your time comes, which is now, when your set time of favor comes, everything, all the good deeds, your cup is going to flow with overabundance because of every little thing that you did. So guys, I just want y'all to know that it's so important that no matter what happens, to do good to others, because there's going to come a point in time in the future where something's going to happen to you and you're going to need something, but you're never going to get it, because if you think back in time when someone else needed something.
Oh my God, we get it. Just stop. Just fucking stop. Let's skip to the end.
Gets removed from y'all, like whatever darkness that's surrounding y'all, keeping you bitter, hostile. Like, it feels so much better to not be hostile. It really feels good not to be like angry. Like, I could imagine waking up like angry every day. The way you wake up every day and you're angry, like the rest of your day is just angry and bitter, and then all this calamity keeps following you around, and it makes you more and more angry. And it's like, I could not imagine, doing that every day. It's a lot. So it's better just to release all that now and just set yourself free and, come into the promised land where I am, and I will bless you abundantly. All right, guys, I love you so much, and I pray that the Lord give you strength also to do the 30-day fast and to heal your land and bring you into the promised land. Bye, guys.
All right, so update is Tila's still crazy. This was fairly mellow for Tila, I have to admit. It's probably the least sensational video that I've covered by her, but I'm sure she'll be back in full form very, very shortly. But from one crazy internet hag to another, oh, you knew it had to come, folks. Now, this is an interesting video. This is part of I believe, a two-part series that Shanny made, where she actually has the nerve to fat shame another YouTube user. I found that very interesting. But what's interesting about this one is that she actually addresses Von Helton and gives a little bit of parenting advice. I'd like to thank Lusty McButt for tuning me into this. Let's check it out. We got close-ups, folks.
It went right over your head. Just whoop. Didn't get the memo, the purpose of why I said what I said about Charlie Gold. Just went whoop. How dare you say something about Charlie Gold being fat? Yeah, that was my point to Charlie Gold. I was given what she gives out to others back to her. You know, the point was not to pick on people about what they weigh about by demonstrating how she treats others, by treating her like how she treats others. That was the point. Most people who know me got that. But apparently the people who listened to Charlie Gold took it as opportunity, a hypocritical moment, to show their hypocrisy. And apparently, according to their morality...
Is it just me, or is Shanny looking more and more like a character from Fraggle Rock? I think you know what I'm talking about.
You don't pick on fat people if you're fat yourself, and you shouldn't say anything about, you know, exercise and weight and diet if you're fat. So that means you shouldn't listen to Charlie Gold either. Are you catching on now? Is it computing a little bit? Thank you, Rachie. Is it computing a little bit? That was the point. That's what I was demonstrating. I was demonstrating hypocrisy. Hello. I was trying to make it obvious. I think I made it too obvious to the hearer where they actually took it seriously. Yeah. By the way, I want to keep getting this going around, so keep putting it around Twitter and shit. Hashtag eat a salad, Chuck. That's all I have to say. Hashtag eat a salad, Chuck. I will continue to eat my salads, Chucky. Yes. And you can continue showing how much you're a hypocrite toward others and how much your audience is a hypocrite. And now I will go on to Animal Crossing because I feel better. Not really. I just have to say the government is trash. They're out there to get you and out there to get monetary gain. And they're willing to set the civilians up to cover up their bullshit mistakes. But what happens if someone talks? What if someone comes to the press, government, and goes to the press over you're abusive toward me? I'm really considering doing that. In fact, the Inspector General told me to do that. Maybe I should take the Inspector General's advice, government. Because I'm tired of being abused. I'm tired of being abused by every single person that seems to want to appear in my life. They end up abusing me in some way, shape, or form. Even internet people who came in my life ended up abusing me or taking advantage of me.
I love when she gets in this pity party about, like, I have nobody and everyone's against me and uses me as, like, you know, the guy who's literally taken her off the street and fucking, you know, provides for her is like laying there like, yeah, oh yeah.
I have stories for that.
Folks.
And I'm at that point in my life where I no longer can take it emotionally. I can't wait to start therapy because I am on that, you know, that cusp. And it's not good when I'm feeling this way, and I am feeling this way, and the people who should be there for me isn't there for me, And I think they need to get fired for not being there for me when I need them there for me, because what is the point of their job when they're not doing their fucking job?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to try to make myself feel better. I'm just tired of getting abused. I'm getting tired of people abusing others. I'm getting tired of seeing other people abused and reacting because of the abuse. And
now this is interesting because not only it's actually there's a little bit of foreshadowing to what's coming up next when she gives Von Helton advice. So it's interesting. Again, I call this 50 Shades of Shanny for a reason. Keep watching.
that was the only purpose of why I did what I did, because I want to show someone for once that their abuse is wrong and how it feels.
It's wrong.
How it feels to be abused a little bit. Just a little bit. I wasn't being that bad. I could be really bad if I wanted to. I was being very vanilla, and I was just doing it for the sheer purpose of Charlie Gold to wake up and actually gain a conscience for once and realize what she is doing is evil. And she's causing other people to commit evil to other people and name call other people. Is that what you want, Charlie? Is you want your people to chase other people down to stick up for you because you're too much of a coward to stick up for yourself? You can't come to me. You have to have other people come to me for you. You ain't no badass at all. You're a fucking little bitch coward.
Oh my God.
That's what you are.
Really?
What?
Oh, here we go.
Vaughn, folks.
Pray for Vaughn, folks. This is really interesting too. How fast he flips the script, depending on how Shanny feels about it. This is just follow this. Poor Vaughn.
Disgusting.
Even though they've watched everything and decided, their own two eyes or their own two ears showed them. Anyways, let's just keep.
Pray for Vaughn.
Pray for Vaughn, folks.
People are disgusting. And
Vaughn got his children taken away?
I wasn't going
3 months ago
to say that,
by the school and the state.
but just pray for Von Helton, man. God bless him.
You know what? Fuck the internet. I'm off this. I'm going to take care of my kids.
Oh, by the way, she's been posting daily since. We'll just. It's funny that they start off with a rant blaming internet people because they're mad at internet people. But then even Shanny realizes how much of a piece of shit Vaughn is. Just watch. Just watch.
You know, you guys do anything you can to go and try to do anything you can to get someone's kids taken away.
Well, of course, they don't know what they're talking about because it was no one from the internet. Again, it was the school and the state. Nobody from the internet. But keep talking, Shanny.
Vaughn, I love you, babe, but you spend way too much time on the internet talking trash about others when you should be taking care of your kids.
Oh, the irony. I hope it is not lost.
Just saying. You know, I had to learn that lesson too. And I'm glad that I'm taking a lot. Me and my son are bonding very much over this Animal Crossing thing. Very much.
It's beautiful.
And, you know, I love my life, even though it's very, very simple, Vaughn. But the more you stay in this fucking drama shit, the more you're going to get in trouble with the law and have your kids taken away and have your kids get in trouble. This is what they do. They are after you, and you wouldn't listen. You got involved with G-Man again and his stupid fucking drama.
I just want to let this all soak in, folks. Just take it all in. Okay, let's go.
You got involved with Veckel and G-Man and got involved in their drama and Dragnet and all of that fucking stupid chaos that doesn't even fucking matter at the end of the day. And they'll find things to get you over. They'll find things and they'll get you in trouble with the law. And they'll try to destroy your life because they take pleasure in it. Yep. They're evil fuckers. Yes, they are. And now your kids are taken away. But you know what? Maybe this is for the betterment. Maybe you needed your kids taken away. Maybe you need to think, is the internet is worth your kids? Because I know the internet isn't worth my kids, Vaughn. Right. I know it isn't. I love my sons. I spend most of the day talking to teachers and trying and looking at my kids' homework, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving being able to teach my kids and having this time with them. But it seems like you dread it. You'd rather be with these internet morons that do nothing but get you fucking angry. Yeah. And furious than dealing with these beautiful children that love you, that care about you, that will nurture you, that will be there if you're feeling sad, ask if you're okay, hug you, kiss you. They're there for you. Yeah. But no, internet drama is so much more important. Vaughn, you really need to know where your priorities is. My priorities are with my children fully. That's why I'm doing the Animal Crossing thing fully, because it's a bonding thing me and my son is doing. And he watches the videos and it makes him proud. And his mom's not stressed out all the time over the internet and stuff. And yeah, I'm sorry you lost your kids, dude, but you deserved it at the same time because you weren't taking care of your kids properly. Simple as that. If they took his kids for neglect, there was a good reason. CPS came into the house and nothing was done. That's the only time they take the kids, is if the house is wrecked, the dishes are piled up, there's bugs on the floor, the kids are saying they're hungry,
It's a beauty upshot, by the way.
They're dirty. That's the only reason why CPS would take kids. I'm just saying. So, Vaughn, you can go blame it on the internet trolls, but maybe they were right about that.
You see how it's just interesting how it starts and where it ends, right, folks? Is when they actually think. It's like when their lips actually fucking, or their brain catches up to their lips, right?
And you got caught in doing something really incredibly stupid because you decided to choose your internet addiction over your kids. Simple as that. Now, I'm not doing that. I'm not choosing the internet over my kids. My kids, way more important. Way more important. They are my babies. They are my loves. They are my angels. They are my everything. Yes. My everything. My babies. My kids. Because they're little parts of me. They're little, like, instead of wanting to put all your energy out in the internet, why don't you put your energy into forming your kids the way you want them to be or something? Personally, I don't know. I don't do that with my kids. I honestly try to give my kids space because I want them to become who they want to be, because I don't want them messed up in the head like I was, where I don't know what I want to be, where I'm confused, where I'm stripped of who I am, of personality.
Now she's reverting back to victim, back to her. It's coming full circle now, folks. Because it's really interesting, because I did want to put that back just for a second. Not that you have to endure it all again, but it's just in the 50 Shades of Shanny. So right now she is basically playing this. The scenario she's playing is that her life is going good, and she has a strong relationship with her kids. And Vaughn, you should follow my advice. And because I've learned my lesson, I stay out of internet drama, even though ironically, this is a video all about her inserting herself in internet drama. But let's just go back where she started again, just to remind everybody. So we'll just back it up to the beginning before she was giving Vaughn advice. And let's hear her talk about her life.
You know, the point was not to pick on people about what they weigh about, by demonstrating how she treats. Obviously, someone talks. What if someone comes to the press, government, and goes to the press over you're abusive toward me?
The press, government.
I'm really considering doing that. In fact,
So this is her right now, actively inserting herself in drama.
the Inspector General told me to do that.
The Inspector General.
Huh. Maybe I should take the Inspector General's advice, government. Because I'm
government.
tired of being abused.
Here we go.
I'm tired of being abused by every single person that seems to want to appear in my life. They end up abusing me in some way, shape, or form.
Hey, no, you got to shake that internet addiction. You can't keep playing the victim, Vaughn.
Even internet people who came in my life ended up abusing me or taking advantage of me. I have stories for that.
So that's definitely why I'm not making a video right now, inserting myself into internet drama.
And I'm at that point in my life where I no longer can take it emotionally.
And that's why she continues to post and insert herself into internet drama daily.
I can't wait to start therapy because I am on that, that cusp. And it's not good when I'm feeling this way.
So the same woman that started out this way with under 10 minutes, about with the 6-minute mark, is now giving Von Helton advice because her life is so much better since she stopped inserting herself in internet drama. Folks, it must have happened at between the 5:30 to the 6-minute mark where this life-changing event happened. Listen, I'm sick of Shanny. I don't know about the rest of the video. I probably don't really care. So let's just move ahead. Folks, again, I have an exciting announcement coming up. We'll get into that in a minute. So Von Helton's been putting out quite a bit of material. Not only has he been gracing the live streams of G-Man, Veckel, and the like, and offering us many pearls of lulz to be found, but he has been putting out quite a bit of content over on his BitChute channel. We did a live reaction to Hypocrisy just the other day, where he admitted, I don't know if Annabelle is still in the chat, but he actually went out of his way to make a video to say he was the height, comic book accurate height of Wolverine, which is 5'3". Now, he did slip up and say it was 5'5". I'll give him 5'5". But I swear, when he was talking with you, when he came into my live stream, he said he was 5'7.5". I don't know. It's hard to keep track of. I had to pick a video. I wanted to pick I Need a Hero. We're going to skim through this one. I basically picked this one. All I know about it is he talks about alien shit. So it's going to be goofy. It's going to be that kind of video. Let's get into it, folks. I've got goosebumps. Oh, and then we'll talk. We'll have a real talk here after.
We'll be right back after these messages. You know what makes me laugh? What makes me laugh is that here we are.
What makes me laugh is I swear that this is a woman's shirt. This is another woman's shirt. This is the exact. Remember, guys, when we were just talking about this with someone the other day. Remember when that stint when he was wearing that peach color shirt? He was all proud of it, doing the Robert Palmer covers. He got it from, because they go to the thrift shop. They buy clothes by the pound. Interesting. I'm pretty sure this is a woman's shirt. Anyways, moving ahead.
70 years after 1940. And yes, my food is beeping. I'll get it here in a minute.
It's nothing like making a video while microwaving your dinner.
70 years after 1940. And there's still people out there that don't believe in UFOs. Despite thousands and thousands of documented cases, despite thousands and thousands and thousands of eyewitnesses, despite, people from the military, the Congress, the government, the scientists, lawyers, judges, people of every conceivable walk of life. Yeah, man, I seen it. It was up there. It zipped across the sky like new money. Despite all this, there is still people out there that when you mention a UFO, they chuckle, they laugh, they think it's funny. Hopefully this video is going to end that once and for all, because I got a little buddy. He's right up there acting like a star every night. Well, he's not there every night. I gotta correct myself. He's only there every now and then. But when he is there, he acts like a star. And when he thinks nobody's looking, he'll go over to the ridge and he'll scan the ridge for whatever it is he's scanning for. And if he thinks there's a plane coming or a helicopter coming or somebody's watching, he'll zip back across the sky and stick up there and flip sideways and look like a star again. I think it's funny. But anyways, but yeah, for those of you that have been living under a rock for the last 70 years and believe that UFOs are not real, hopefully this video will end that, because that's what the purpose of this video is. It is to shake you up and wake you up to the fact that UFOs are not a joke. And they haven't been a joke since the 1940s. And my microwave is not going to stop beeping till I go get my food. So, with that said,
it must be spring, and the gods must be smiling upon him because he's got the lovely breast development we've been talking about. But I also see that there's the beginnings of a new Mount Trashmore behind him, folks. It's been several videos now, and the passageway appears to be still blocked by absolute garbage. I don't know. It's like clothes on the ground. Looks like some other shit. Can't blame this on the kids. That's all I'm saying. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
We'll skip this intro.
Disclosure Project, which clearly documents just tons and tons and tons of information regarding extraterrestrials and UFOs and whatnot.
Now, keep in mind, folks, we're not going to spend too much time on this because I got worked up Von Helton to get into. We're going to get into some raging Von Helton, some upset Von Helton is coming. But we do got to scan through a bit of the weirdo-ness. This is Weirdo Wonderland.
I stated earlier, we have documents from the military, the government, judges, lawyers, police officers, people of literally every walk of life. But there are still people out there that, oh, yeah, yeah, no, it's not funny. It's not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter, and we're going to get into that here in a minute, too. Anyways, I'm at Life Science, certainly not a conspiracy website. So they got here 5 weird things you didn't know about Chernobyl. And we want to focus first on this one, similar to Hiroshima, according to them and others. According to the book Physics for Future Presidents, The Science Behind the Headlines, Richard Mueller, Professor Emeritus of Physics at the University of California, Berkeley. Okay, so, but let's go on down here.
What the hell was the point of that? Well, Vaughn didn't even know what the point he was trying to make. He just abandoned it midpoint. He's like, I don't know. I haven't even read this article. I just want to go down to this headline.
Here's the one I want to really focus on.
I was going to really focus
there
on this
was no containment building. There was no containment building.
You got that,
and
folks?
It even says right here that there would have been virtually no deaths if there had been a containment building. All right, this is important. Okay, this is the important one here. Okay. All right, so let's move along to our next tab here. I'm going to have to adjust my stuff here a little bit. All right, this is Vanity Fair. Congress is taking the UFO threat seriously. Lawmakers want to know, is the truth out there? I'm going to adjust it over. Well, no, let's see. What about? Yeah, just leave it alone. Fuck it. Rubber plant. Leave it in. In 2004, 2 Navy pilots near San Diego encountered what they said was a strange aircraft, whitish in color, oval in shape, and capable of accelerating like nothing I've ever seen, one of the pilots would later tell the New York Times.
I'm so glad that Vaughn waited to share his dinner with us. Like, let just put this in perspective. This is a guy who does absolutely nothing all day, who's been quarantined to his trailer since before there was a quarantine. No kids, no job. He's obviously not picking up. He's microwaving his dinner, and he waits until he decides to make a video every time to eat. Just throwing that out there.
I have no idea what I saw, the pilot said to a colleague afterward.
So basically, it's a story about someone who saw a white aircraft and he couldn't identify it. Wow.
That alleged encounter was among the incidents examined by a secret Pentagon program investigating unidentified flying objects, which was established in 2007 at the behest of then Senator Harry Reid and revealed in a bombshell Times report 10 years later. Revelations of a 22 million.
Why did he say the name of that guy like that? Like it meant something. Huh. Harry Reid, I guess because it's bolded. He has no idea. He's saying it like it's making a point. Harry Reid, that guy. Harry Reid.
$1 million intelligence program aimed at investigating UFOs was stunning enough. But interest among lawmakers has only seemed to grow since the now shuttered Pentagon program was revealed, suggesting that the possibility of alien encounters is something the United States government is taking very seriously. According to Politico, yet another non-satire website, hey trolls, I'm talking to you. The increasing number of legislators have been requesting Pentagon briefings on UFOs, a sign officials told a publication of growing congressional interest in the topic. There are people coming out of the woodwork. A government official told the outlet 3 senators, including Mark Warner, the top Democrat on the Intelligence Committee, were reportedly briefed on Wednesday about encounters members of the United States Navy had described with unidentified aircraft. If naval pilots are running into unexplained interference in the air, Warner spokesman said, that's a safety concern. Senator Warner believes we need to get to the bottom of. Other lawmakers apparently agree. More requests for briefings are coming, an intelligence official told Politico. Okay, so indeed, this is not a joke. So if you're still laughing, then you're a fucking idiot. Because even our Congress, even our corrupt, idiotic, money-wasting Congress is taking this shit seriously. So why aren't you? Good question, hey? All right, let's move the fuck along because I got 2 more tabs yet. All right, now here's the doozy right here. All right, Pravda, Russia's own newspaper, Pravda, not a conspiracy website. All right, UFO prevents blast at Chernobyl. Oops, I kind of went a little too far there. UFO prevents blast at Chernobyl nuclear plant. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. See that? Yeah. See the Newsweek article wanted to say that the UFO caused the explosion, and the Russians are like, no, that's a lie. They said, no, that's a lie. The UFO prevented the blast at Chernobyl. All right, let's scroll down here a little bit. 16 years have passed since the disaster at Chernobyl nuclear plant on April 26, 1986. I think it's a little beyond that now. The explosion happened at 1:23 a.m. Tons of radioactive products were emitted into the atmosphere. The machine shop of the plant was gripped with fire, and the fire was about to move on to the third power generating unit of the plant. Firemen managed to extinguish the fire several hours later. Many of them died later of radiation exposure. Much has been written about the Chernobyl disaster, both in Russia and abroad. It seems that the physical nature of the tragedy has determined, as well as the people who were responsible for it. The fourth power generating unit was supposed to be repaired, yet before shutting it down, the administration of the plant decided to perform several experiments. Steam delivery was cut to one of the turbo generators in order to discover the period of time that the electric power would still be generated due to the rotation of the rotor.
All right. Yes, Chef Boyardee specialty, beefaroni. Just for a little bit of context, I believe that's what Kramer fed the horse in that Seinfeld episode when he's running the coach. Remember, he's got the bulk cans of beefaroni, and he's feeding the horse, and the horse keeps cutting wind. Great episode. So, I mean, I'm holding out here. I mean, it's a typical Von Helton video, but apparently, I think I caught from people talking about it. I saw in the chat, somebody was mentioning that there's somewhere where he talks about aliens on his roof, and that's what I'm kind of holding out for. If someone has a timestamp, because surely to God, I got better Von Helton stuff to get to than this. It's going to get better, but if anybody has some timestamps out there, throw them in the chat. But we'll just let it play for now. But I want to hear about the alien on his roof.
Experiment was not,
or something about that, something like that.
Not well organized. There was another test conducted simultaneously, the study of turbine vibration. They started decreasing the capacity of the generating unit at 1 a.m. on April 25th. The emergency cooling system of the reactor was shut down at 2 p.m. This was supposed to stop the reactor. However, the Anyway, the energy company did not know anything about these tests. An energy control officer did not allow the fourth generating unit of the plant to be stopped. These were the prerequisites. Of the tragedy. Many people are still suffering. The explosion was a very...
I just totally talked and then I was on mute. Yeah, first of all, shout out to Jerry Stiller. He did pass away. I think he was 92. And yeah, I don't know if it's an alien on the roof or what the hell it was. It was something. He talks about his little buddy up there. I think maybe Lusty knows. Lusty was involved in that. I think. I don't know. If someone can throw me a timestamp, I don't know where it is in this video. We're just going to play till we find it, I guess. But somewhere he talks about a personal experience with aliens or some shit. I don't know. Let's move right on ahead.
Large, but luckily it was a thermal blast. The fourth power generating unit was basically destroyed by overheated steam. There was no nuclear explosion. Now he's talking about the fourth one now, not the first one, the second one, or the third one. He's talking about the fourth one. The fourth power generating unit. I'll wake up here in a minute. Was basically destroyed by overheating steam. There was no nuclear explosion. Roughly 180 tons of enriched uranium were in the reactor. If a large blast had happened, half of Europe would not currently be depicted on any maps. Let me say that again. If a large blast had happened, half of Europe would not currently be depicted on any maps. All right. That's pretty hardcore, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let's go on here. There are many theories to explain such luck. Luck. They are describing it as luck. One of the theories is that there was help from an unidentified flying object. When troublesome events started to occur, some people saw a spaceship hovering over above the fourth generating unit of the Chernobyl plant. Eyewitnesses say that a UFO was there for 6 hours and that hundreds of people saw it. And they did. That's documented. People started writing about it. Only 2 years after the catastrophe. Of course, such information appeared in magazines on ufology, as it is generally believed serious people don't read such magazines and journals. Here is what Mikhail Veritisky, I apologize, had to say. I and other people from...
So Vaughn cannot even pronounce the guy's name, obviously the first time reading it, but he's going to give you quotes from this guy as some kind of legitimate evidence that Chernobyl was fucking tamed down with the help of aliens, or sorry, an unidentified flying object that we can only assume is aliens with advanced technology, obviously.
My team went to the site of the blast at night. We saw a ball of fire, and it was slowly...
The sad thing is, for Von Helton, this is pretty vanilla. This is not even as crazy as Von Helton gets, but I'll take it.
Flying in the sky. I think the ball was 6 or 8 meters in diameter. Then we saw 2 rays of crimson light stretching towards the 4th unit. Okay, so this UFO, described as a red ball of light, shoots a beam at the 4th generating unit. All right. I think the ball was 6 or 8 meters in diameter. Then we saw 2 rays of crimson light stretching towards the 4th unit. The object was some 300 meters from the reactor. The event lasted about 3 minutes. The lights of the object went out, and it flew away in a northwestern direction. The UFO brought the radiation level down. The level was decreased almost 4 times. This probably prevented a nuclear blast. Now, this is the people at the scene saying this, guys. This isn't some conspiracy website. This isn't a bunch of ufologists. This is actual credible people who were at the scene. Firemen, technicians.
No, actually, it's some guy that you can't even read his name, saying that his team spoke to people who made these claims. Right? So even the guy who you're quoting that you've never heard of wasn't even the one. It was secondhand information to him. Supposedly. We don't even know. There's no way to even cite this. Whatever. See, there I go again. Trying to, use my head. Anyways, let's skip ahead.
The UAP nuclear connection for more than 30 years.
All right, same shit.
NAP has gathered documentation of the European foothold during Cold War. Bentwaters housed a secret stash of nuclear weapons in 25 fortified underground bunkers. We looked up on the radar scope and saw something, not like anything I'd seen before. Ivan Barker, a U.S. Air Force air traffic controller, worked that night, told history pilot from the...
See, it's all the same stuff. It's just the same story told over and over again. So, where's the good stuff? Where's the good stuff?
Echoed those made by Navy pilots undergoing training exercises on the other side of the country. In November 2004, pilots and radar operators from the USS Nimitz carrier fleet saw a 40-foot-long tic-tac-shaped object flying just above the ocean while flying 100 miles off the coast of California.
See, what's funny is a guy like, I do want to, at least we're going to get, here's the silver lining. We're going to learn a little something. Here's a little bit of fucking... what's the word I'm looking for? We're going to analyze Von Helton, right? So basically, to most people, they would recognize discrepancies in outrageous claims as like probably evidence that these events didn't happen. Even though they're spectacular on their own and they warrant their own like same level of evidence to prove them, right? Extraordinary claims and all that kind of stuff. But a guy like Von Helton just assumes he does the exact opposite. He embraces all the discrepancies and thinks they're all true. So in Von Helton's comic book, twisted version of reality, his perception, there's literally hundreds of different, if not thousands, different types of UFOs bombarding Earth nightly. Wow. Couple this with the fact that he thinks the supernatural and is around him 24/7 and he fights demons nightly. My goodness, the God speaking to him on the toilet. He's got demons he's fighting with. He's got fucking literally hundreds, if not thousands, of different spacecraft entering our atmosphere every night. He leads a far more exciting life than me, I'll tell you that much.
Near San Diego.
All this from his trailer,
F-18
folks.
fighter jets were scrambled to approach the object. It accelerated, easily outrunning the supersonic Navy craft. Pardon me. Increasing attention to the topic, which is what a lot of people need. Whereas earlier reports were carrier killers or career killers for military.
Maybe the part about his little buddy, the alien, maybe that was the story he was telling at the beginning, because that was pretty good too. Did you guys catch that? Where apparently wherever his fucking mountain view is, there's a star that keeps moving around. He thinks it's funny because he's the only one that knows that it's an alien because he watches it every night. Of course, he never goes out and like actually films this or documents this. I find that interesting too. Anyways.
Personnel. There is an increase.
I also thought it was interesting that Vaughn the other night admitted in a live stream that he's broke. I thought he just won the lottery and got an inheritance. Now we'll get to that in a minute.
Increasing openness in the Pentagon and on Capitol Hill to taking these sightings seriously as potential threats. In April 2019, the U.S. Navy announced that it was updating its guidelines for how pilots and personnel should report unexplained aerial phenomena, making it easier for military members to report sightings to superiors without facing professional stigma and backlash.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's skip up to the end here.
It's never been a laughing matter. If Betty and Barney Hill were alive today, I'm sure they would get in your face and say, hey, it's not funny. It's not the least bit funny. You've got people that have been traumatized either by...
Oh, I stand corrected. Lusty has pointed out that he has tried to film the aliens, but they have a cloaking device, which makes them invisible. So it's kind of like, what was his name? Thor Hammer. Remember that guy? Remember when I had a phone call with him that went like a half hour on Blog TV? I got to find that. That might be on the old computer. That one is worth getting dug up. But they actually believe that the aliens can see them with a camera. You can't make sense of it.
The extraterrestrials themselves or by the now infamous Men in Black.
You got to understand, Meg, that, with the COVID-19 epidemic, you can't get the housekeeper to come in because his mom has $2.5 million in the closet and they have housekeepers.
See, it's not funny when you have a bunch of strangers knock on your door threatening to kill your ass if you mention UFOs.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen. But anyways.
That's not a laughing matter, folks. That's not funny. Not one bit.
Yet here is Vaughn making a video about UFOs. That's what is always funny with these guys. They're always like, oh, they're watching. They're going to do all these horrible things. They got radar, energy, sonic, duper, fucking superimposed metric modulating fucking devices that put me to sleep. They don't want me talking about this. Yeah, there they are making videos. I'm just saying.
All right, so, this is something.
I'm actually so excited when Mount Trashmore gets built again. We can start playing like what's in Mount Trashmore and all those kind of games. Remember?
That needs to be seriously considered and looked at. And like I said, there are some out there that's good. So though we need to, and it dovetails to what I was saying on my Facebook, because this morbid.
See, there's still hangage. There's still hangage there, folks.
Obese Christian by the name of Shanny for Christ was on YouTube.
Oh, did you hear that? An obese Christian. This might get good.
Throwing her hands in the air, screaming, we're all going to fucking die. We're all going to fucking die. Because a prominent science magazine had just released the fact that, guess what, guys? Not only are we talking to extraterrestrials, but we've been talking to them for weeks now. Literally.
Well, according to Vaughn, it's been years, but...
I forget what magazine it was, Science Weekly or some shit. But it was a legit science... it's on my... I talked about it on my Facebook. But it's a legit science magazine. And she literally lost her shit which I can see because, there's a lot of disinfo out there. There's a lot of people that, like I said, think this is funny. Well, it's not funny. But anyway, she was over on YouTube losing her shit in a live show.
Yeah, he just reopened a Facebook account. He had one for years, but of course, he, like most social media, he got banned for calling for the genocide of Muslims and whatnot.
She had the chat turned off for some reason. I wonder why. But anyways, but yeah, she's over there losing her shit. And my reaction on...
Does that mean Vaughn's trying to make contact with Shanny? These people work in weird cycles, man.
On Facebook, my reaction to that on Facebook was like, well, wait a minute. We've been talking about this shit since the 1940s or 50s, at least. Why is she flipping out? Dwight D. Eisenhower, the president of the United States, Dwight D. Eisenhower, was briefed on this shit. But she was over there on YouTube absolutely losing her shit. So it's time to get educated on this matter, folks. It is not a laughing matter. It's not the least bit funny. And it's time, and if Congress is going to take it seriously and the military is taking it seriously, then you need to take it seriously. Simple as that.
Simple as that, folks.
So, but the guys told me, hey, do a video on that shit. I'm like, okay. So here I am at 2:19 in the morning. I don't know what the hell.
Time has no bound on the welfare warlock, folks.
I guess because it's quiet and I can focus, and I guess that's the reason. But yeah, man, the strangest fucking hours,
It's quiet and you can focus. What the fuck is the difference between 2:15 in the morning and 2:15, in the afternoon at your place?
It's like, hey, wake up. You need to do this video. I'm like, okay. Okay. Here I am. But anyways, yeah. So it's not a laughing matter. And, save your laughter for when you're taking a shower. How about that? All right.
Okay, I'm not even sure what he means by that, but let's move ahead. Let's move ahead, folks. We still got more to come. I saved the best. I saved the best for last. All right. So admittedly, that one was a little stagnant. Hopefully we'll do a live reaction with I Was Right 52, and we'll have a little more energy with that one, because I know he's talking about flat earth and I don't know, some other bullshit. But I just want to just quickly change gears here for a second. Let me just change here views, because I want to share a little bit of news that I have with you boys and girls. Yeah, I can't say too much. I can't let too much out of the bag yet, but folks, I got a reputation here to uphold. I'm going to do my best not to let you down, but there's been things moving in the background. There's been all kinds of things going in the background. There has been a disturbance in the force. And let's just say some members of the old order have reached out to me. We'll get to that in a second. For something I forgot to mention at the first, and I'm just going to mention now. I just feel I want to say thank you to the people, first and foremost. I meant to say it earlier, that have given to the Broke Ass Computer Fund. I do appreciate it. In full transparency, I'll give you an update for the people that are involved with that. Last week we were at 117. We are now at $140.04 Canadian. Thank you very much. That has moved up. I really appreciate it. It is not by any means, you're not obligated, but it is appreciated. And I think probably next week, I think what I've decided I'm going to do is the money I'm going to put in, I'm just going to put in the same pot so everyone can see exactly how much is there and what I give versus the other, because I want to be fair about it. So probably next week or so, I'll just put a big chunk in there. I don't know what I'll put, $100 or $200 or $300 or $250 or something like that. So, he has a new dating video. We'll have to get a hold of that. So, but anyways, yeah. So as far as the broke ass thing, and just for some people to know, all you got to do is take the link and put it in the URL, and it should work. Because someone was having an issue with it earlier, and they're trying to send it as an email address or something. It doesn't work like that. So, again, anybody wants to, that's there. If not, it's okay. We're gonna move ahead. So the announcement. Let's get to the actual announcement. Let's just say that hopefully in the near future. We're getting some things ironed out. We're trying to get the calendars coordinated, but there may be a very special guest that I think a number of you out there we'll be very excited to hear from in the very near future. There may be something in the works here, folks. It's just, I don't want to let too much more out of the bag yet. You never know how it's going to go down. So far, that's all I can really release. I know it's just wetting your whistle, but folks, I think I've got a pretty good track record. I think I've given you a decade of entertainment, and I think since we've been back for the last 7 months, whatever it's been, I think we've had a pretty good run. So I'll let you all speculate who it may be. That's all I can say. I will throw out a few more breadcrumbs as things get closer to closure. I got a few irons in the fire. We'll stir it up. We'll get it. I have a good feeling you won't be disappointed. So, yeah, let's get back into it. Let's take a look at little Drunken Coves. We got some more Von Helton. We got some Von Helton rage coming up, so you don't want to go anywhere. But I want to thank Bite Size Cobra Vids for yet again editing this down. Cobra's got a few beers in him. His buddy Alex comes over, and hilarity ensues. Let's check it out.
What is up, fellow YouTubers? We are live. Sit back, relax, grab a tasty beverage. But I do appreciate you tuning into this live video. Hope y'all are staying safe in this quarantine bullshit. And if you could, subscribe to Sydney Watson's channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Oh shit. Hope no one's seriously hurt. And of course, cigarettes are bad for you. They may end up killing me. But that's just the risk you take with being a smoker. But to be quite honest, I've been trying to cut back on smoking inside my apartment. Alright, so we got a Rolling Rock. And not a sponsor, that's just free advertisement. Can Crush for the subscribers. The video response. All the cool Cobras tuning in right now.
It does, but it's life.
Yeah.
Well, you stay. Just doing a live video, huh?
Yes, sir. About to do a video response to Sydney Watson. Maybe you haven't heard too much of her, I don't think.
Not really.
Not really? Yeah. Okay, so I want to introduce you to her. She's a cool chick.
Oh, this chick, I think I've seen her before over here.
Oh, yeah, when you come over sometimes, yeah. Yeah, he brought his with him. That's fucking funny. Yeah.
Most evil thing ever. I finally found this and put new batteries back in it, so I was like, oh yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna laugh at that.
So apparently Warlord Campbell found his lightsaber and put batteries in it. That's fucking funny. Star Wars nerds.
Yeah, it's not as cool as the one I want to buy.
I was gonna say there's a website that builds custom sabers. It's pretty sick.
So he's got CBD and I just got Space Jam.
Not trying to encourage vaping, but this is how I did the trick.
So my dad found an old comic book and sent it to me that I thought was badass and never seen before.
All right. Like now you have a smoky beer. What nonsense is this? The beer is ice cold, which when it mixes with the CBD hemp extracts and Space Jam 3% nicotine, it creates this weird sort of like potion-like effect, like, optical illusion, like, what sorcery is this, In fact, I saw Jeff Dunham live in Casper one time, and it was funnier than the fuck, dude. Oh my God. And the best part about this shit's not even scripted. Like, I had no idea he was going to come over. I wasn't even answering my phone. I'm just sitting here doing a live video, like, hey, what's up? Well, now, King Cobra is not a rude host. I will offer my guest a beer. Would you like a Rolling Rock, good sir?
Sure, bro.
Righteous. I'll be right back, YouTube. And we'll get this video response rolling. Send in the clowns. Great Malingo. Who's going chicken hunting? We's going chicken hunting. KFC, extra crispy. Okay, Cobra, that wasn't funny. Jeez. Not those clowns.
Well, that's the KFC's not really hunting. That's like a.
No, it's chicken hunting if you go into KFC. It was a joke.
Oh, I know, but like.
It was a horrible joke, but I went for it.
If that's chicken hunting, I guess Microsoft got us all beat, huh? Killed an entire freaking chicken farm with a factory of machines.
Oh, that is.
All the machines in the chicken farm next door, all the chicken.
God damn it.
What did they do with all the chickens when they were done? Did they have a big chicken fry? And they donate that shit to KFC to get their money back.
What's that?
They did a national survey in America. 72% of all women, women were asked, if there was anything about your ass, what would you change? 72% of all women in America stated they love their ass. They wouldn't change him for the world. Ladies, we know we're assholes.
That's just it. Men don't have to be assholes. Honestly, all of this bullshit can piss off. I don't care. You ever wonder why fish oil is so good for people? It's because people evolved from fish, bacteria floating in the goddamn water. And now we're fucking primates, and then now we're fucking humans. Really makes you think.
Sir, I disagree with you. I identify as a tack tank. You didn't laugh. I'm the devil. I love metal.
So if you'd like to buy this shirt, check out some of the shops I favorited on my shirt. Hell yeah. Mountain Wizards.
She was absolutely ripped to shreds by The View. Joe Biden put his hands on my shoulders, including very vocal Me Too voices like Alyssa Milano, who now is suddenly in favor of deportation. Late to the party, but nice work.
Okay, let me just say something that'll change everything. Women are afraid to be called a slut when they're raped because that's just how it is. Well, men are afraid.
I tell you what, motherfuckers, someone get me this guy's phone number. I'll make an interview happen. How's that? Someone can actually get me his telephone number. I will make the call legit and make an interview happen one way or another. We'll work it out. If that's what you want.
To report rape because they're afraid of being told, "Oh, you're a man. All you men want is sex." So equally speaking, both women and men feel shitty about it.
Non-alcoholic Busch beer?
My fellow Americans.
Tasted like a beer, was relaxing like a beer. So, I was like, all right. But that's just my opinion. America, world.
Fuck yeah.
That's correct. Biden has...
she's drinking a beer. I saw that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That set off my lightsaber, bro.
And why the Women's March movement has a bad name. It's because the cunts and the assholes, pardon my French, ruin it for everyone.
Guess what? We got Wyoming out of it.
I don't know what the fuck is going on about that, man.
My great-great-grandfather gave the right to vote to women.
I think that's an awesome right. Anyways, YouTube, thank you all for watching.
Making the change easier, not harder.
And I'll catch you cool cobras
later.
later.
Yeah, bro, that's what's up. Catch y'all cool cobras in the next video. Toast. Peace out.
Peace out.
And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the wily and elusive drunk cobra. You just got cobed. You just got cobed. Let's just change the view a little bit here. See if we can get this working. Maybe how about this? Here, we'll do something like this. All right. So we're rolling into the third act here, folks. I want to thank you all again for joining me. Again, something's in the works. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ear to the ground. I will fill you in as I know more. But that's all I can say. I cannot confirm or deny anymore. But that's where we're at. So, moving right along. Yeah, Von Helton has found a home, at least for now, a temporary home, over on G-Man's live stream. Although I've been getting that impression lately that G-Man's trying to kind of squeeze him out, but still being tolerated. So last night there was a doozy. There was a big upset where Von Helton, the self-proclaimed purveyor of history, got in an argument claiming that Canada didn't liberate Holland. And we had 2 platoons over there? We had nothing. And anything to the contrary must obviously have been printed post-1982 because he claims, forget the fact that there's people born before this, let alone that when 1982 rolled around, there were still people, lots of people still alive that were actually directly, that served on the front lines of this thing. He claims that, they, quote unquote, they changed all the history books. Just, I guess they wiped everyone. Maybe it's a Mandela effect. I don't know. But let's move ahead to the hilarity. Now, again, if anybody watched more of this, I just came in the middle of this fight, so I don't know where actually all this starts going down. I think it's around the 50-minute mark or something. They're talking about the World War II stuff. But if anybody knows of anything else that's worth watching, please let me know. Because last time we almost missed that gold nugget. I'm sorry Wilson pointed it out. I'm glad he did. I was about ready to hit stop on the video and move on. And then we had the end where we got G-Man talking about going after people's social security numbers and lying to the court purposefully. I thought that was a little piece of gold. I can actually nug that one out, maybe put it up on its own because I think it deserves its own little video. That's why it's important to archive this stuff, folks. You never know. You never know. But there's a little bit of gold in here. I think we can squeeze a little gold out. So we'll skim it through until we get to the fight because I think it gets a little hot. I don't want to listen to this fool too much. I did want to point out something that was kind of interesting that was pointed out to me. I don't know if Jello Shots is watching, but he actually brought this up. And there's a couple people have kind of noticed this. It's kind of interesting. Because as worlds kind of collide, right? We have some overlap, right? We've always got some overlap on the internet, but especially these days, we really got some strong overlap because we got the G-Man crowd and the Von Helton crowd, and some of them already mixed, but everything's kind of getting mixed together here, right? And it's interesting because someone pointed out Dragnaut will cover some of the same material and hangouts and stuff that's going on right now. The same as that I do. And for the most part, we're pointing out the same things. We probably agree on most of the same things. But it's from a different perspective, right? He's coming at, it's basically G-Man's his cow, Von Helton's my cow, and they're both grazing in the same pasture right now. So we're both shepherding them, so to speak. But we're giving our side of the story from our cow's perspective. Right? I just thought that was interesting. It's like two perspectives of the same event through the eyes of their cow. I'm getting deep here, folks. Let's see where this is going. I don't want to listen to him breathe.
I don't get my doctrine from this guy or nothing. I literally.
Oh my God, Gorilla 199. That is a guy I got to get back to. You guys remember that guy? Remember he was saying CERN's experiments were opening portals and Satan was going to march his army through CERN. You know what I'm saying? You guys remember that? This guy was nuts. Is he even still around, still making videos? You got to look him up. Well, that's 2000 and something. What year is that? We'll have to watch the year on that because I'm feeling this is old stuff. Yeah, it's got to be.
Just found out about this guy today. I'm not even subscribed.
2009. Oh, I just found out about him. Yeah, G-Man's G-Man's gonna like this guy. Be careful what you endorse, G-Man, because this guy is a full-on fucking nutter. Fucking nuts nut. Beyond Von Helton nut. This guy's actually nuts. Von Helton's just nutty. He's just a weirdo, gullible fucking bullshit artist that'll promote anything that gets some attention, right? This guy, I think he actually believes. I think he he picked the flavor of his Kool-Aid. He's yeah.
Actually, I'm not even signed in right now. This one right here. But anyway, I'm not. I don't think I'm subscribed to him. Anyway, so I was looking for certain kind of videos, right?
Yeah, crazy
and
videos.
He, I don't know. He just started talking about this, and I was like,
when he says certain kind of videos, he means like I have a presupposition of I'm right, so I'm just going to find a bunch of junk shit that backs me up, even if it comes from someone who's clearly deluded and believes the Illuminati has built this fucking CERN device to open portals to allow Satan's army. It's 2009. None of this came true, by the way. But because he put the atheist, quote unquote, are delusional, G-Man's behind it. He's going to use this as a source. This is what I'm talking about earlier. This is the advice that was given to me. Remember that video I played? If you're just joining, go back. Watch the video that was actually directed at me years ago. That gave me that advice. There's no hope for these guys. They're rubber heads. Their heads are made out of rubber.
okay, that's the same argument that I make, but I don't do it the way he's doing with the boxes and everything going on. So I just thought it was interesting to listen to this.
Well, yeah, he's crazy, but and I disagree with the boxes, but
anyway, let's continue.
So if you're hating something that's imaginary, you have either some kind of mental problem, which means you belong in the deluded box, or you are a Satanist, which means you belong in the Satanist box.
Oh, well, obviously, if you disagree with me, you belong in the delusional box or the Satan box. All right, let's go ahead a little bit. Because this is nutty. It deserves its own thing. I mean, I'd rather just feature Gorilla 199 than G-Man featuring. Whatever, you get what I'm saying.
Is it a possibility that Richard Dawkins could be?
Oh, Lubis, you've got to learn these lessons, man. You're not going to change anybody's mind. Let's skip ahead.
Yep.
Really simple. Yeah, exactly. Because you don't see this type of treatment towards the Buddhists, towards the Hindus. You don't see this towards the Muslims.
Well, you do see it towards the Muslims. I've seen lots of it towards. I know what he's talking about. These guys are all crying because, of course, they're like, statistically the largest, group of humans on the earth, numbering in the billions as Christians. But they're the ones getting persecuted against because people criticize them. And they're trying to say there's not criticism towards Islam or anything. Give me a fucking break. I've seen lots. But the big difference is why we don't see a lot of people going after, the Hindus or the Buddhists, is because they don't proselytize and try to fucking rub their, they're not out trying to conquer civilizations and convert them, That's probably the big difference. But anyways, I'm not getting into that talk. I just want Vaughn to talk stupid.
Definitely don't see that.
I asked.
If you hear somebody say something,
they don't even want Vaughn to talk. They ain't gonna let Vaughn talk.
I'm sorry, 1 second, Vaughn. When you hear somebody say something like "I'm against religion," and then they don't say anything about Hinduism, they don't say nothing about what do you call it, about Buddhism. But Veckel, have you ever heard atheists? Hold on a minute. Have you ever heard atheists talk about Freemasons at all, or talk about what Freemasons?
No, I don't think they know about it.
Oh my god. Here we go.
I don't think they know about it, and I don't think they care. I mean, you think about it, G-Man. I mean, and you already know this. Preach to the choir. But why is it that the name of Jesus is the only name out of antiquity that's used in the way that it is today in an English-speaking world? Why is it?
Well, because they're predominantly Christians in the English-speaking world.
Used as a four-letter cuss word. Why don't we see?
All right, I'll skip up there in a sec.
Muhammad or Quetzalcoatl, or whatever his name is, or Gandhi or Muhammad.
Like, did these guys really not honestly think it out? It's because most of the English-speaking world is European heritage, which was mass converted to Christianity hundreds of years ago. Explain this. Anyways, let's go up ahead. That's 148. I'm going to go back. Go back. In around here somewhere. We'll go in here. The Vaughn starts getting a little hot. They start talking about World War II.
Really fool someone in thinking that you were Slash.
Welcome to the jungle.
So,
things are getting loose.
How are we going to do that? Do I email you or what do we do?
GTV3 at gmail.com. GTV3 at gmail.com.
GTV3 at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And these guys wonder how their personal information gets out. I'm just saying. Remember, he was spelling his name in his email like a month ago.
Twice GTV.
I'll put it in the private chat for you.
No, I can remember it. So I'll send you an email and Veckel, your email was on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, but I can give it to you right now if you're ready.
Sure.
It's Veckel2 at yahoo.com.
Let me pull up my folder where I put my email addresses. Because I'm an atheist. I can remember one, not two.
I was going to ask you.
That's too much for my brain.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what your religious.
You said you're an atheist, right?
I'm an atheist. Yeah, I got
okay.
Veckel12 at yahoo.com.
No, Veckel2.
Oh yeah, two. Of course. I see. I'm an atheist. I misread the L for a 1.
I know.
What's your political affiliation, if any?
Who, me?
My political affiliation?
Yeah, just for grins.
I'm pretty sure you never heard of it.
I bet you I have. Try me.
Yeah. Okay. PVDA.
PVDA. All right. Yeah. That's over in what? Scotland, Ireland, somewhere around there.
Holland.
Well, I was. Okay. I went a little too far.
It's all the same to me.
Too far.
Here we go.
Here we go.
It's I think they're kind of like a quasi-socialist movement, if I understand correctly.
Not entirely.
Not entirely.
It's the workers' party. If that.
Yeah. Well, that's worse. That's communist then.
No.
That's basically saying that
what you would say.
Your business belongs to the people that you hire, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah. So they get a say in how much they get paid and.
Yeah.
What, how business gets run because they're working for you and stuff like that, right?
Blue collar community. So working.
The workers' party, man, the people's party. Where have we heard that before? Where have we heard that slogan before?
Well, who would you?
Well, Von Helm does support a populist president, but anyways.
That's what Bernie Sanders wants. That's what Bernie Sanders wants.
Von, who would you rather support?
The 1%.
The working class or the rich people? Who would you rather support?
I would rather support freedom, and then let the chip fall where
you want to have a voice. Who would you?
No. Well, here's the okay. Well, now you know what? It's great. We had something happen like that here in the United States. Okay, we had this mobster who started up the unions here because the workers were oppressed.
I agree with you.
And it was literally started. Excuse me. It was literally started by a mob boss. Okay?
I know.
Okay. All right. So obviously that's not a good thing.
No,
having something started by a mob boss is probably not a good thing. Okay?
I agree.
So, so from my perspective as an American, obviously I would rather vote for freedom and then let the chips fall where they may.
Those tits, though. Don't tell me you weren't looking. Don't tell me you weren't looking. Sorry, Deviant, I'm talking about Vaughn.
Whether the person be rich, poor, or somewhere in between. And since we're on the subject, I find it interesting that you divided humanity into rich and poor and completely cut out the middle class.
Okay, you got a point. You got a point there.
I got a very good point, don't I?
What I'm trying to say is, if you go by percentage, what would be the majority?
The middle class.
People who just have a job.
The middle class. The concept.
I am jealous of Vaughn's titties. I can only hope in 35 years when I look his age.
Middle class is people who have a job, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean the concept of the middle class is that they're neither poor nor rich.
I agree. I didn't say that. I said people who have a job, just regular working people.
Right, just normal, everyday, average citizens.
Or rich people.
So is that a problem though?
Yeah, why is the middle class a
There's
problem?
nothing wrong with there's nothing inherently wrong with being a middle class, so long as if you are part of that category, that you don't have anything external to yourself trying to keep you from trying to succeed, or putting you in positions that would make you poor.
Here's what I'm trying to say, Feckle. So when I look at American politics, and I look at the politicians, and I look at the people who run the country, they have the interest of the millionaires, billionaires, and gazillionaires in mind, not of the working class. When I look at the American South, and I see the amount of people who are out of a job because nothing is invested in those parts of the country, and I see people homeless, I see people starving, then I think there's a little tiny bit wrong in the whole political system, because a country should be there for the people who live there, and the majority of the people are people who have a job and still are struggling to keep afloat. So wouldn't it then be better if those people had a little bit of a say? So the money that now goes into helping the millionaires transfer their businesses to China and other cheap labor countries, bringing that back to the US and making sure that the people in the US can get a chance of earning a few dollars.
Redistribution of wealth has been tried several times, sir, and every time it was tried,
it's not redistribution of wealth, Fawn.
Well, what is it? What is it then? What is it then?
Deregulation.
It is support of the people who are the backbone of the country.
Yeah, at what expense though? Because if it's my business, okay, I have the right to do with my business whatever I want, even if it is to give people in another country who's going to work $10 less than the ones in my native country, give them the job. You know,
which was a total,
which is hilarious because every one of those sitting there, you got Vaughn, Veckel, all of them. They are big Trump supporters. Which is, if I'm not saying nothing against Trump, I'm actually going to give him some points here. His whole thing is trying to stop exactly what they're supporting right now. Just keep that in mind. Just because this guy is not American and is suggesting something to their ears un-American, they are actually fighting for the side of rich people to relocate their businesses to other countries like China to save dollars and get rid of workers. They're actually supporting that right now. Just think about that. And this is where it starts, folks. It does get better from here, at least what I saw. Oh, goodness.
Set up. It was a total setup.
But I mean, I don't think it's right for some external entity like the government to come here after I bust my butt to get the business that I got now and just tell me that, okay, you're going to hire Juan over here and you're going to hire Xing Fu over here as well, and you're going to pay them what I tell you to pay them. That's not.
Wait a minute. When did anybody mention foreign labor? Or like, what's their name? Like, what is he implying there? Like, I'm not uptight. I'm not a prude. I'm a politically incorrect. But he's going out of his way to bring this into the conversation. Because as far as I could tell, this was not part of the conversation. You guys are catching what I'm saying, right? You heard what I heard right there. That move, that pivot. Did y'all catch that? Because now it's about being un-American. So the guys who are just arguing for the right of rich billionaire companies to take jobs away from skilled labor, trained Americans, to literally take the food out of their mouth, fuck you, while saying they're fighting for all in the name of fighting for the middle class, supported moving those factories to places like China, but now they're mad at the government for making them hire foreigners within America. Like, are you following this fucking logic? Don't try. It's the shit abyss. You will go crazy.
Right. This is my business. I want to hire whoever I want to hire, and I want to pay them whatever I want to pay them. You know what I mean?
And that's how slave labor happened. Like, I mean, I understand the point. Like, I do believe there is such a thing as bad regulation and over-regulation that stifles small businesses, especially. I'm not denying that. But this right now, what they are arguing is so asinine. It's basically, well, again, we're talking about people that have, no problem with slavery. So, but it's always the people, it's like Von Helton, who is a recipient of social assistance, always backs the party that wants to get rid of people like him. Anyways.
So you think
right?
Listen, as a business owner, you think it's a bad thing to have people that can spend more money on your business? You'd rather have all kinds of poor people running around, so you have to look for people who you can do business with?
Veckel, these guys don't get it. This guy's making a very good point. Is because of all the jobs, if you as an employer have the right to pull jobs away to get some kid who will work for 12 cents an hour in Africa making your fucking sandals, or in China or wherever, you're taking jobs away from people in the communities that would actually be putting cash into the local economy. That's economic. That's like the whole fucking point. And look at the look on their face. They don't get it. They ain't getting it. Again, you're trying to put new software on old hardware. Just like it was. This all goes back to that video I shared earlier.
Where did you get that from?
If people don't have money, Vaughn, what can they spend?
Why wouldn't they have money? When I lived in Ohio,
if they don't have a job, I know several people in the south parts of the U.S. who don't have a job, who struggle to keep afloat. They can't buy anything. They can't buy cars. They can't buy a house. They can't buy new furniture. Nothing that the economy would benefit from. So you can have a business, but if you don't have clients, what's the use of having a business?
When I lived in Ohio, I worked 3 jobs.
Exactly. My point. That's my point exactly.
But
yeah, and Veckel still don't get it. He's over there looking like a dog that, he just threw the invisible ball. He just ran for it. And he's at the end of the yard looking for it. Veckel's lost. He's a dog chasing a card. He's caught it, but he doesn't know what to do with it.
But you didn't let me finish.
One should be enough.
You didn't let me finish.
One should be enough.
I worked 3 jobs.
Look, Vaughn really thinks he has him now. Vaughn has no idea. He has no idea that his lips are literally making a fool of his face right now.
Because I would have rather worked 3 jobs and worked my fingers to the bone than to be a puppet of the government. Any day. Any day.
No one says you're.
Yet, here he is, a recipient of social assistance, living completely off the back of his mother and the EBT that his children were receiving. Just pointing that out.
No one should ever give up.
What I'm saying,
you're getting
the wrong end of the stick. I'm not saying you're going to be a puppet of the government. I'm saying you would have a voice in the government. Wouldn't you think that's better?
No, you wouldn't have a voice in the government. You would still be a puppet because the government would be putting you in a position pretending that you have some sort of authority, but it's ultimately them. Again, if it's your business, right? You built it from the.
Veckel, of course, this is just his opinion from just listening right now. He actually hasn't really thought this through. Again, their brains move faster than their lips can keep up with it. And they're just spouting out verbal diarrhea and just their opinions. That is just, in the words of Shanny, wrong. It's just wrong.
Ground up. Okay, you have the right to do with it whatever you want.
Exactly.
Right? And here comes the government telling you that, hey, we people need to be, you need to be fair with people and stuff like that.
And that's the part you don't get.
And that's admirable. That's admirable.
Veckel.
But again, you still have another entity telling you how to run your business, and that's just not right.
Veckel, you don't get the point. The point is that you would have people in the government who would have your interest at heart.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In what way though?
To support people like you. To make sure that people
in this scenario, if I'm the business owner, if I have enough money, you know, I have the freedom also to give to charity and to give freely, you know, everything that I earn.
You still don't get the point. You still don't get the point.
I always love this argument. It's like all of a sudden these like billionaire corporations or millionaire, even like multi-million-dollar corporations. It's really nowadays a multi-million-dollar corporation is just a corporation. But I'm just saying, it's like we know one of the biggest complaints is that, you know, government is corrupted by outside controlling interests, right? Lobbyist groups that represent different corporations, right? So why do these people think that if you just remove the shackles of any kind of legislation, that all of a sudden these business owners are like, well, I'm free to give to charity. I mean, I could get healthcare. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to do that. I'm going to tell you how business works. They always talk about, well, you know, it's going to be competition, right? Because you want to have good labor. So, you know, if down the road, the factory that's making paddles, like you're making paddles, are charging, you know, they're giving people $14 an hour, you give them $15 an hour, and you get the better workers. No, that's not how business works. When you start up your paddle factory, you find out that the guy down the road's getting away with paying $11 an hour. You're like, well, I ain't paying more than $11 an hour. You know, I'll give them a Christmas party once a year. So that's how business works. Anyways.
I don't think you get the point. The point
I don't think you're getting the point.
I don't think you get the point. My point and Vaughn's point is that you still have this outside entity separate from you and your business telling you
what to do
with your money, your business.
Not telling you. That's the point.
It doesn't matter if I want to help the poor or not. I should want to do that on my own. I should not have an entity telling me how to run my business or what to do with my own money.
That is not what I said. I said, wouldn't you want someone in the government that has your interest in
if I'm talking about me as a middle class citizen? Is that what you're saying?
Talking to you as a business owner who wants to make more money.
I think what he's talking about is instead of having just two parties, having a third party.
Exactly. And not only a third, more for different parts of the population.
What would your third party be?
Well, we've tried third parties before, and every time we have a third party, guess who wins the election? Oh, the Democrats do.
But see,
every time. Every single time.
God, shut up. That's the thing. Instead of having
Well, they've had independents running. I mean, look, Trump just won. So
just one president, okay, maybe just one president that has, you know, control of everything like we have, but instead in the Senate, it's spread equally between three.
Exactly. Lulu gets it. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Communism.
Work with me here. Let me make sure I'm understanding you guys.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
So what they're saying is they want communism.
No, it's not like it.
That's not communism.
It sounds like some sort of diet version of communism. That's what it sounds like.
It's not communism.
The opposite.
But it ain't capitalism, I tell you that.
It's the opposite.
How is it communism?
Socialism.
Because the government's in control.
Because
when the government is in control, it's communism.
And this is
the government.
And this is why your economy sucks.
You what to do with your business.
No, this is why your economy sucks.
I don't want the government telling me how to run my business.
You guys are fucking simpletons. Oh, okay. What they're doing, or what he's referring to, is they will have a voice for you in the government. They're not taking over.
See, this deviant. I'm gonna use you as an example from the class. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. This was the advice that was given to me. This is coming full circle. Look, it always works out, folks. It always comes full circle. This is the advice. You right now are trying to load new software on old hardware. I give it to you. It's admirable. You are not going to convince these guys. They've already made it up. They have a presupposition that they're correct. However they view the world is correct, and they will only listen to quote unquote evidences that support their presupposition. You trying to rationalize and use evidence and facts and be open and have like a belief system that's in any way elastic and not dogmatic? Nah, fuck that. I'm going to skip ahead a bit.
Holland is neutral.
Oh, here we
My
go.
grandfather was in a concentration camp, and this dumb idiot says we were neutral.
Okay. All right. So he made a mistake, and so did I. So
Well, yeah, but
thing is-
Switzerland, I know for a fact, was neutral. So I was
Peter,
only half wrong.
apologize, Peter, if you thought that.
I was only half wrong.
I think.
But I will say this, Peter. Shh. Come on, man.
Well,
Seriously.
I never claimed. Wait, hold it. I never claimed.
So I hate that with a passion. I just don't know. But Peter, I asked you a question though. Are you aware that America freed you from Nazi occupation?
I'm aware they didn't. Yeah.
They didn't. Yeah, it was the Russians, right? Right, Peter?
Here it
Oh,
comes.
the Russians did it? Tell me something. At that time, was the Russians part of the Axis power, or were they part of the Allies?
Holland.
So here's what's called a straw man. G-Man just went totally off what Vaughn said, not what Peter said, and began to construct an argument against Russia, that's completely not what this. And this is what the guy brings up, that it's a historical fact that Canada liberated Holland. I mean, it is. I'm just saying, it's a historical fact. That's just, there's still people alive that were like little kids. I mean, they're old, but.
Okay.
Who liberated Holland?
Hold on a minute, Vaughn.
And then Vaughn, the purveyor of history, this is like the first time he's ever heard this.
If Russia freed you, were they part of the Axis powers, or were they part of the Allies? Which ones?
Russian didn't free us, G-Man.
Okay, so
It
how
had
about
to be either the Americans or the Russians. Pick one.
Who freed you? I asked you this. There's so much confusion going on. You guys can't answer a direct question. So I'm gonna put you on here, Peter. How did you guys? Okay, who rescued you from Hitler?
Canada.
Out of here. Get this guy out.
Look at that. Look at this.
Canada. Canada,
Peter,
my rear end.
Peter, I'll go on your show, Peter. Hopefully you got some real.
Just for anybody out there who may doubt it at all, Father Jay actually posted a link to an interesting little mini doc. It was about 40 minutes long. It was actually really interesting over at Trolls, Haters, and Naysayers. The link is in the description. You can check it out. And it's interviews with people who actually served on the front line. Just saying.
Questions next time. I can't do it the trolling. Sorry. Bye.
It was America and Russia. He had to pick one.
He said Canada.
I knew
what a
he was
fool.
on here to troll.
I'm very tempted.
I knew he was. He was just on here to troll, man. You don't think he heard me say that I was a World War II historian the other day? Of course he did. Of course he did. That's why he was saying what he was saying, G-Man.
Yeah.
He was here to troll. Nothing.
A World War II historian, and Von Helton didn't even know Canada was in World War II. Yeah. Do you know the UK was in the war too? Does he?
Nothing else.
Where's Vecco at? Why did Vecco leave?
I have no idea.
Because he knows when to jump ship.
Maybe. Oh, his kid. His kid was crying.
Yeah, I see some people are coming in here to get reactions so that they can use it. I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Let him post it all over. Vaughn doesn't know where Holland is. I could care less.
I Googled it next to Germany, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I am right though. They change countries like I changed my underwear, man. It's crazy. It's weird.
Well, he said he's from Holland, and he said that our economy is terrible. You know, but I bet you if he had a choice between living where he is and living where we are, I bet you he'd bring us behind over here.
I bet you good money if our economy tanks.
That's how people come in here and go, I will leave America if I have the opportunity. I wish I can get my hands on their Social Security cards and make them prove it.
I bet you
people in America,
if our economy tanked tomorrow, it wouldn't be 2 weeks before Holland's economy would be on the ropes, man. Guarantee. Because we just saw it happen. This last time when we had that depression, what happened to Greece? What happened to Italy? Their economy's tanked. Not maybe, not kinda. It was documented. It was all over the news. We financially
hello?
prop up darn near every country on earth, man, financially. We really do. I know it sounds crazy, but we really do.
Hello? Hello?
Hey,
by,
Brenda,
by the way,
Hi,
the other,
Brenda.
hello? Hello? The other guy was right. Canada liberated Holland. Just look it up. Google Canada liberated Holland. They did. You're wrong.
Okay.
Canada liberated Holland. You were wrong.
Okay, great. I was wrong. Do me a favor and do a Google search real quick.
1982, revisionist history. Google that while you're at it.
It's not revisionist.
Oh
That's
revisionist history, starting in
It's not
1982.
revisionist.
Google it.
Vaughn, calm down, Vaughn. Calm down, Vaughn. Because I want.
So according to Vaughn, anyone that was born before 1982, what they just erased their memories? Like no one noticed that they changed the story about World War II. It was kind of a big event. Again, in 1982, a lot of people were still alive that were actually in that war. Like this is just fucking stupid as fuck.
You're just wrong. Just admit you're wrong.
Brenda.
Dude, I want to scream at him.
Okay, so hold on a minute. I'm going to unbroadcast everybody here. Brenda, what I want you to do, Brenda, I'm going to bring you back in here. Because ain't nobody going to grandstand here, okay? Go to Google and show me that in when the Germans was occupying Holland, how Canada went over there and freed them. And please let me know if Canada was part of the Axis powers or whether or not they was part of the Axis powers.
All right, G-Man just asked if we were part of the Axis powers or the Axis power. This guy doesn't even know. He doesn't even know Canada was. Oh my god! It's not like a Canadian thing. It's not because I'm Canadian I'm offended. I'm just like people are really that fucking stupid. It was called a world war, and yes, as people pointed out in the chat, Canada was in the war before the U.S. Despite what all the American movies show you. I mean, nothing. I'm not trying to diss the U.S., but I mean, they didn't join the fucking war until they got attacked. Everybody else was already fighting the fucking thing. I'm just saying.
Brenda.
I'm confused about what it is you want. You want me to show you a web page? Is that it?
I want proof, and because like I said, I'm not arguing with you. Okay, I want proof that Canada, all by the lonesome, went over there to Holland and freed them from German occupation. Can I see proof of that, please? Because you say it was wrong. So I know how to take correction. So let's see that proof, please.
There you go.
So hold on a minute.
The Canadian Encyclopedia, Liberation of the Netherlands. In the final months of the Second War, Canadian forces were given the important and deadly task of liberating the Netherlands from Nazi occupation from September 1944 to April 1945. The First Canadian Army fought German forces on an estuary, opening the port of Antwerp for Allied use.
Okay, so who were they working with when they did that?
They were part of the Allied forces.
What year was this?
It says 1944.
Well, she just read the dates, and you don't know what years the fucking war was. Like, he's going to try to make the argument that it was the Allied forces and Canada just helped. He doesn't understand that the Allied forces, like while the Americans were liberating France and while, these guys were liberating, like Canada's job was to go in and liberate this part of the world. That was our part of the Allied plan. The Russian front, they were doing their, anyways.
Or I guess, I don't know what date.
So they were part of the Allied forces, right? So give me everybody that was involved in that particular time.
I don't know.
Give me everybody that was involved in that particular time. Like he just keep moving those goalposts, like G-Man. Again, he's already made up in his mind what the history was. I believe Canada still is a Commonwealth country. Anyways.
I don't know the whole list of everybody that was on the Allied forces.
Oh, and by the way, I also didn't know that Canada had a military. It's good to know that they actually.
Yeah.
He didn't know we had a military.
They did. They contributed a lot.
Hold on a minute. We definitely have to go to the White House and say, look, we got to stop protecting Canada. Let Canada protect themselves.
Well, I would love to know the name of the general that was leading their military.
Vaughn, by the way, Vaughn. And let me tell you why it wasn't wrong, Vaughn. You You wasn't wrong when you said that the Americans went over there and
Oh, here we go. Now he's gonna. Oh, here we go.
liberated them. You wouldn't have been wrong.
Enabler.
He is wrong. He is wrong.
If anybody would have been part of the Allied powers, they would have got credit for it too. Okay, that's
The
why
Canadians.
He doesn't
The
understand.
Canadians
He
were-
doesn't understand. The Canadians liberated. Now, to be fair, there was a part of this operation where Americans lent support. Very little, but there was a part midway through this that I believe that the Americans participated, but they didn't actually liberate anything. Anyways, that's a different story.
Given the task of liberating the Netherlands.
And who
Wasn't
did
the Americans?
And who did they get resources from, Brenda? The
From
Allies.
themselves. No, from themselves, I'm sure. Yeah.
No,
they had
no.
their own army. Yes, they did.
I don't understand why you guys are arguing this.
Because the Canadians
they're
maybe
simpletons.
because
they're
if they were lucky, the Canadians maybe fielded a battalion or two battalions. That's it. That's all they had.
No, actually, it was 120,000 Canadian troops stormed the Netherlands just for that operation. Forget about what we already had, like in Normandy and placed other places. Now, mind you, we have a significantly smaller army than the U.S. Army. And part of that is due one, just sheer numbers, but a part of that is because of agreements we've made in treaties with the United States, not to have a huge army up here. Anyways, it gets complicated, but I mean, we're very active with the UN and like global peacekeeping missions and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, admittedly, like we don't have the army. But back in World War II, compared to other world armies, like other country armies, we had a formidable army back then. Like we weren't relying on, I mean, again, we as allied forces, obviously we all relied on each other doing our part. But this guy is grossly misunderstanding the contribution that other countries in general made to the war. Just saying.
That's not true.
Well, that is true. G-Man has tried to argue that 2.3 billion people died during World War II. So
Field more than 5 battalions. No way.
They had
no way,
7,000
no way.
Canadian soldiers, sailors, and airmen died fighting in the Netherlands.
that's true. There was over 7,000 that died, let alone like that was over there fighting. Anyways,
I'm not
7,000
saying they
Canadians died.
I'm not
They
saying
died.
they did.
You-
But what I'm
they
saying
died.
is you're saying that Canada did it all by
People
themselves.
died
And I'm
for
calling
help.
BS on it. Because they didn't have
Why
enough
are you
troops.
guys arguing
They
over this? I
did
don't
not have
understand.
enough troops, man. They didn't have them. They just didn't
Yes,
have
they
them.
did. They
This
had
revision-
7,000.
Lupus, let me tell you why.
I don't understand why you guys are all mad.
I'm going to tell you, Lupus. I'm going to tell you, okay? In 1982, you had this entity called the American Historical Society, and you had its foreign counterpart, okay? And what they did, they literally went through our history books and literally rewrote the history to suit their agendas. This happened in 1982, the year I graduated high school. Any document, any book after 1982 is automatically suspect because of that. Okay, and that's where you get garbage like this. During World War II, the Canadians maybe fielded a battalion or two. That's it. That's all they had. They didn't even have any tanks. They didn't even have any planes. They had nothing. They didn't have no artillery.
oh my god, yeah, we used maple syrup on. That's how we liberated Holland. Fucking doused them in maple syrup.
They had maybe 2 battalions of troops, and that was it. And this crap that they liberated a country by themselves is utter BS. It did not happen. I don't care how many websites get on there and tell you it did. It did.
Well,
Vaughn.
couldn't it have been that?
All right, 1 second, Lucas. Vaughn, let me ask you a question, Vaughn. Okay, you said that there was a what's that? A revisionist.
Revisionist, yes, revisionist.
Okay, history and whatnot, right? Because I'm looking at the history of this right now, and I'm going to screen share this shortly. But
Vaughn, those words you said before, what you said you put some Vaughn, you put some words together there. What were you?
Explain to everybody what exactly that is.
Revisionist history, okay, revisionist history is where you take a group of people that have an agenda and they literally rewrite the history books to suit that agenda, whatever it may be. All right, and unfortunately, the people that had the ability to do so obviously had an agenda that was
You're
contrary.
a liar, Von Helton.
That was contrary
Give
to
an
those of
example
us.
of what Vaughn is talking about before you call him a liar, Brenda. Hold on a minute. Brenda. You know what? You can stay there and talk to me.
Oh, Vaughn is most definitely Von Helton is a liar. I mean, what do you call someone that tells lies, G-Man? You call them a liar. Isn't it funny that G-Man will tolerate this behavior from Von Helton? And why is it Von Helton is the only one that's allowed not to wear a bra on camera? These are burning questions.
Here. So anyway, let's not all forget about the people out there that are saying that the Holocaust never happened.
Exactly.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on a minute. If you're going to play stupid in here, which is what I think is starting to happen here, so that you guys can trigger people, okay?
That's exactly what they're doing.
Brenda, let me ask you a question. Are there people out there?
Isn't it ironic he's using this? So he's using a group of people that deny the facts of World War II to support his argument of denying facts of World War II. Isn't that interesting? And then also building a straw man and flipping this around to blame the other side. There is genius in their stupidity. Because most people are not bold or ignorant enough to try to make an absolute fool of themselves with these types of arguments. Yet here we are. See, silly me, I wouldn't even think about making an argument as retarded as this, but yeah, they beat me again.
They're claiming that the Holocaust never happened, Brenda. Yes or no?
Nope.
Peter, did you just say that there's nobody out there claiming that there are no Holocaust?
Oh, there are people.
Hold on a minute, Peter. Are you telling me, Peter, that you don't believe that there are Holocaust deniers out there?
Of course there are.
Okay. So if there are Holocaust deniers out there,
then there are people that deny other things about World War II, like another country besides America fought in it.
Are you aware that people are trying to change history and say that the Holocaust never happened?
Yes,
I love this. Vaughn uses this tactic too. If they can get you to say yes to something actually related to what you're actually arguing about, they take that as a victory that they're right about everything. This is how their mind works. This is, again, there's no sense trying to put new software on old hardware like this. It's just, it's not going to happen. You're trying to run Skyrim on a Tandy. It's not working.
Understood you. Let me clarify. I thought you were referring to the people in here, and that's why I said no.
Yeah, because I was about to question you on that, considering you said that your family was
I have a question. I have a question.
Wait a minute. You and Brenda owe him an apology because both of you said that there's no such thing as a revisionist history.
No, that is not what they said. See how he's spinning this? Like, forget the fact that Vaughn was completely wrong about his historical facts, which is actually what the whole argument is about. But he's going to actually demand that they apologize to Von Helton. This is like when Dick Cheney shot a guy in the face, and they actually got the guy to apologize for getting in the way of his shot. You see this shit going on right now?
All right.
It's called intellectual dishonesty.
Nobody said any such thing. You're a fucking liar.
I will, G-Man. G-Man, I will. If Vaughn answers
G-Man,
me
don't
one,
bother.
if
They'll
Vaughn
never
answers me
apologize. This
if
whole
Vaughn-
damn outside chat will never apologize.
Go ahead, Peter. I'm sorry, Vaughn. 1 second. Go ahead, Peter.
I have one question. How come that I have pictures of my mother on a Canadian tank, have the addresses of Canadian soldiers who liberated our town? How come that I have all of this? I've talked to those people.
They actually have a fucking parade once a year commemorating when Canadian vets actually fly over. I'll give you a hint. Here's a hint to my American friends that I learned years ago, and I know people who've traveled to Holland. If you wear a Canadian pin while you're in Holland, a lot of Americans do this, because if they think that you're Canadian, they will treat you like gold. Now, I don't know about newer generations so much, but that was always the way it was growing up. I was always told that whenever you travel to Holland, get yourself a Canadian pin and put it on your luggage or on the cuff of your jacket. Because especially anybody who was a kid are alive back then or the next generation after, I mean, they'll open their house to you. They love Canadians. They hang flags. Of course, I guess none of this happened pre-1982. I don't think any of this happened according to Von Helden, before the Mandela shift. Chief Jelly Tits. I love that.
Bull.
Yeah.
How come that happened if there was a revisionist history decades after?
Okay.
Give me the name of that Canadian tank, please.
Argument, Peter. That's not the
Give
argument.
me the name of the
Perfectly
Canadian
good
tank.
argument. That's a
No,
good
Give me the name of the Canadian.
That's not the argument. That is not the argument. You're saying that we're saying that Canada had nothing to do with it. You're trying to argue that Canada did it all by themselves.
Well, originally you did argue and scoff and laugh. Again, I'm not taking offense because I'm Canadian. I'm not. I'm just fighting because it's a historical fact that you're just blatantly denying. You just cannot admit you're wrong. And so normal people that have fucking conversations, right, are just like, oh, Canada, they didn't liberate. Yeah, they did. They go, oh shit, sorry, I got that mixed up. You're right. Then you move on with your life, and you grow. Like, what's the big? What is so critical about this, other than a bruised internet ego? Would you continue to fight? That's why I'm playing this. This is so asinine. Again, when we watch these, we are an observer. We're like a fly on the wall, just watching stupid happen. It's an interesting social experiment, folks.
And that is simply not what happened. I'm looking at what happened.
Nobody said that, G-Man. Nobody said that.
You did.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that. You're a liar, Von Helden.
No, I'm not a liar.
Everybody stop talking over each other. There wouldn't be so much confusion. I am not bringing you back and Brenda or you, Peter, into you guys. And Vaughn, I'm keep on broadcasting you too. It's got to be one person talking at a time so there won't be any confusion. I'm going to get seriously strict in here. All right. So if you believe that Canada did it all by the lonesome, when I screen share what I got right here, maybe you can explain that later. Again, Lulu.
So,
Lulu, bring it down. RPMs. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to.
Another little bit of trivia. When we faced when we faced the Nazis, I say we, Clark. I didn't fight, but I mean when the Canadian Army engaged the Germans, the numbers were like pretty much 1-to-1, with them holding their position. Right, like it was a pretty fierce battle. And actually, if you want to do a little bit, just a little bit of research, because I didn't even know this for years, look up the term stormtrooper. And of course, you're going to get a bunch of Star Wars stuff, but look up where the term stormtrooper came from. Just saying.
Screenshot something.
All right. You need a screenshot?
I mean, not screenshot. I need to show something.
All right.
Share.
Screen share, right.
Screen share, not screenshot. Screen share.
Here we go.
So it says, where does it say? I just read it. It says here the Allied forces included the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division and the 2nd Canadian Armored Brigade of the 1st Canadian Army landed on the beaches of Normandy, France. So they started sending the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division and the 2nd Canadian Armed Brigade the road to the Netherlands. And the 2nd Canadian Corps had also captured and launching sites of the German rockets and put at end of the attacks on southern England. So there was more to what the Canadians were doing, not just what was happening with the Netherlands. So they actually had a bigger role in what they were doing during the World War II than just taking the Netherlands. They actually played a big part in it.
We know that.
Lulu, wait a minute, Lulu.
Why were you denying it then?
No, we were not denying it.
Hold on 1 second. Lulu, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here, Lulu. Was Canada part of the Allies, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
However,
the argument is because they were part of the Allied powers. Canada didn't do it by themselves. Do you understand it?
Yes. However,
Allies. Hold on a minute. Then it would be the Allies that liberated them, and not merely Canada.
Correct.
Yeah, shock troopers is another term. Stormtroopers, the World War I Germans used it, and it was a term that was first used, I think, for their own soldiers, but they would use those terms interchangeably later to talk about to describe Canadian forces. They use it again. It got later used for Marines as well, but it became a term that was used for the Canadians as they were liberating the places that they're saying they're not liberating.
You're saying that Canada did it and Canada did it alone, then they're not part of the Allies. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
I don't understand why you guys are arguing this.
And the tank and the tanks
I think Brenda and Peter were trying to say, oh, Canada went over there by themselves, with their missiles and their military, and they went, and saved their Canadian.
And that ain't true.
Nobody else had nothing to do with it. That's a bunch of baloney.
That ain't true.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
The
You're
head,
lying.
That's
a
the
lie.
head of the Allied. The head of the
That's a
Allied
lie.
forces. The head of the
We
Allied
never made
forces.
that claim. We never
the
made
head
that
of the
claim.
Allied
It's a
forces
lie.
was General Patton, an American general who was in charge of the Allied forces. And then the Russian, I forget who the Russian general was on the Russian side, but those were the two generals that were in charge of the Allied forces during World War II in Europe. That is not my opinion. That is an absolute fact. And as far as the Canadians were using American tanks. The Canadians used American.
Okay. The reason why there's so much confusion with this particular topic is everybody's talking at the same time, and I don't even know what the heck anybody is saying. I hear Brenda calling me a liar. I hear Vaughn trying to make his point, and I think every now and then Peter's trying to throw his point of view in, and then Deviant Lulu is trying to talk. So this is what we're gonna do because nobody here knows how to act their age. Vaughn, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, Vaughn. You're gonna get 2 minutes to make your point. Then I'm gonna let Peter get 2 minutes. Brenda's gonna get her 2 minutes, and Lulu is gonna get her 2 minutes, and Lubis is gonna get 2 minutes, and nobody's gonna interrupt nobody because if you do, it's hasta la vista, baby. All right. So come in here, Vaughn. Say what you got to say for 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna broadcast you. Yeah.
How this fracas got started is because Peter intimated that Canada had liberated the Netherlands on their own. And I insisted that no, it was the Allies, primarily the Americans, but the Canadians were there too. But it was primarily the Americans. And he's like,
well, no, he's wrong. And that's not what he started out saying. He scoffed at the idea that Canada was even there. And then he said, what, it was like, what, 2 platoons or 2 friggin', like he just made it sound like there was like a few hundred people. There happened to be Canadians there, right? They helped like peel potatoes and shit like that with his grandpa or something. I don't know, but that's definitely not and it's not right anyways, even what he's saying now. And again, I'm not arguing this because I'm Canadian. I'm offended. I'm just like, it just blows my mind that something so stupid that they're just not willing to admit they were wrong. Most people, this would have already been moved on to a new conversation, but no, not with Von Helton. He's like the princess and the pea, right? Someone's put a pea under his mattress. I don't know, in Vaughn's case, he probably peed the mattress, but in any event, now he's pardon the expression, he's all pissy. He just won't let it go because someone has challenged him and showed him to be wrong after he's been bragging that he's a World War II history buff, trying to impress all these people like G-Man and Veckel. They just won't let it go. Just won't let it go. This is what truth means to these people, folks. Watch a little bit more. We'll watch a little bit more.
no, it was Canadians that liberated, which is not.
Well, it was Canadians that liberated. That's why they have
not accurate. The Canadians were there. The Canadians were instrumental in the liberation.
Oh, now they're
in.
Before they were nothing. They weren't even there. It was a joke. Get out of here. They don't even have their own tanks and planes. He said we didn't even have bullets. We had to borrow bullets. Golly. Now we're instrumental.
But they were not the only ones there. And for that matter, the Canadians didn't even have their own tanks. They were using American tanks, Sherman Fireflies, if I'm not mistaken. So they didn't even have their own tanks. Like I said, the best they had at the time in that particular area would be maybe 2 battalions at the most. And even if you did claim that they had their own shit right there, they were still under the command of General Patton, an American. Even if they did do it all by themselves, they were still under Patton's command. Okay,
All right.
an American.
All right. So let me get Peter in here and let Peter make his point without being interrupted. I'm going to unbroadcast Vaughn. Peter, you got 2 minutes, Peter, to make your point. Okay.
Thanks. Great moderation. Like that.
Oh, head on mute. Now, admittedly, I'm looking this up on the fly, folks. I'm obviously not. Yeah, Gus needs to be here. This is where I need Gus to help me critique this. Maybe if you're talking to Gus, maybe we can do a special thing some afternoon. We'll just take this segment out and let him correct it. Because I'm not a World War II scholar or anything like that. I mean, I know the basics, but I know enough that other countries participated, other than Germany and U.S. and a little bit of UK and French people splattered in there. So, World War II Canadian Army tanks, 1939 to 1945. 1941, we have the cruiser tank Ram. 1943, we got the Grizzly. And 1940, we got the infantry tank MK3. 1941, we have the MK4. We have 1941 also, we have the M3 Lee, the M3 Grant, the M3 Stewart, the M36 gun motor carriage, the M4 Sherman, that's 1942. Oh, there's more. There's more. Now, some of these, like the Sherman and that, I'm sure you might be right. They're like, American design or whatever, but we bought them. Yeah, we got some Shermans, Vickers MK6 light tank. So again, I'm not a history buff. I would have to go and I'm looking here. So the Cruiser Ram, the Grizzly were Canadian made. The Marks were British made. And we had the M3s and the Sherman. One Sherman model was American. And the Sherman Firefly was actually British. And the Vickers MK was apparently was a British. Looks like we had a little spatter of everything in there, folks. But yeah, we bought them. We didn't borrow them. We're not like, hey, can we borrow a few tanks?
Yeah. So here's the thing.
More of those tanks?
There were Allied forces, which were compiled of the British, Americans, Canadians, Australians, and a few of the occupied countries that had fled to the United Kingdom. Patton was only in charge of the American forces, not of the Canadians, not of the Australians, not of the English. The ones who liberated Holland were the Canadian troops. There was no, I repeat, no American involvement in all of that. The Americans had their own task. They freed France. They freed parts of Belgium. They took over Germany. Americans played a big role. Pretty big role, but none in the liberation of Holland. That's all I want to say. And I'm off to sleep. G-Man, thanks for letting me get this out. I wasn't. If this caused a ruckus, my apologies. I was just telling.
Okay, so let me go to Brenda then. Don't worry about it. So let me go to Brenda because everybody on here wants to talk and get their 2 cents.
Okay, I'm out. Thanks for letting me back in and letting me clarify this.
They did. I think that's where it started. That was early. I think that's where they entered from. Amazing Pearl. If I'm not, again, I'm not. Maybe someone could correct me. I could slip on dates, and I shouldn't even really speak on it publicly because I just have a very surface knowledge of it all. But I believe that's where it started.
Okay. All right.
Catch you guys later.
All right. Later.
Bye bye.
Bring Brenda in here, and we're gonna let Brenda give her 2 cents on. Give Brenda's 2 cents on this. So Brenda. Hold on, Brenda. You got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it is a bald-faced lie to say that we intimidated, that Canada did it utterly on their own and not affiliated with the Allies. Nobody ever said that. What we just said was exactly what Peter just said, that the Canadian forces helped to liberate Holland. And we never said they were on their own or they somehow were just a force that just happened to be in Holland. The way these things work is that at the top levels, at the 5-star general levels, they coordinate their activities. They talk and they say, "Oh, you guys, well, how about you Canadians? You go over and you liberate Holland." And Patton, well, Patton went. He was in Italy, wasn't he? Wasn't he in Italy, or at least North Africa? He was in North Africa for a while. He wasn't anywhere around that. You're just lying because you don't want to admit that you were wrong. Canada liberated Holland. You were wrong.
Okay, so that means Russia, ladies and gentlemen, was the ones that won World War II too, ladies and gentlemen, because Russia went over there with their own.
Wow, just right over his head. Just complete, utter willingness to be ignorant. I have to applaud it because it's just something that I don't have in me, folks. I'm not that kind of person. Wow.
Troops and whatnot, and then they won. So that's my 2 cents on that if we're going to argue like that. So anyway, Deviant Lulu, you're going to get a chance to give your own 2 cents on this for 2 minutes. You got something different to say?
No, we're not going to argue like that. No, there's not an argument. It's the Allied forces worked together to a common goal to defeat Germany. Each had their part. Canada's part was to liberate Holland. That's just it. That's not even debatable. It's not an argument. It's stating the truth. Golly, the cognitive dissonance that these people live with. I can't even believe that they function in society. But sadly, there's many. Because sadly, there's people that watch these guys and agree. But what's worse is not just the dumb people that don't know anybody or care. It's the people that do know better and enable it. Veckel just got out of there. He knows why he's leaving. G-Man, as out there as he is, he knows better. He's just trying to cover he's just pulling up the diaper for Von Helton before he fucking shits all over the hangout. That's what this whole conversation has been about.
And then what the other two people just got finished saying?
Yeah, about the guns and everything. The majority of them were switched and swapped between the different countries, between the British, the Canadians, the Americans, between Russia, especially. Even the Germans, they were all swapped. It didn't matter what side they were on. There were some manufacturers from Canada that did them. There was some specific things that Canada did make, but they were mainly swapped back and forth between all countries. So it didn't matter which side you were on. It didn't matter which country you were coming from. They were all, using the same weapons. It was war.
Okay, thank you, Lulu. I'm going to broadcast you for a moment. Lubis, you want to give your little 2 minutes on this, on how on the allies?
Yeah, I don't understand why we're arguing this. Okay, so we had the allies.
That's not
G-Man's not even going to let the guy talk. The guy's finally just trying to, he's the only guy. And again, hats off to you, Lubis. I've seen you many times in there. But again, this is a lesson you're going to have to learn in life. If you want to hang out there, you're just going to have to listen to the bullshit. You got a choice. I mean, it's your life. You want to be an enabler, but don't question them. It's not going to go anywhere. You're trying to install new software on old hardware. Let's skip ahead a bit. See where this goes. I think it's almost wrapped up. The butt hurt the buttholes start puckering up a bit.
With their measly 2 battalions and went in there and
Von Helton just keeps repeating his initial misstatement. I'm saying that kindly.
It cracked me up. Oh my Lord.
I still don't get why you guys are flipping out over that.
Go Google the North American Union. Just go look that up. Canada is part of the U.S. That's
Oh, I love this. Canada is part of the U.S. We're not a sovereign nation.
running joke right now.
Yeah,
Canada
I know.
Go look up the North America.
But they're part of Team America. What's the big deal?
Where it's called allies. We're allies.
Like I
Lupus.
said, Lupus, it was trolling, bud. It was trolling. They were trolling. Okay, they were trying to get a rise out of me. They heard that I was a purveyor of history, and they wanted to get a rise out of me. That's all.
The welfare warlock, a self-professed purveyor of history, doesn't know that Canada participated in the fucking war. Just let that sink in. It was all a troll job. When these guys are corrected, it's a troll job.
All it was, man. It ain't nothing about Canada. It ain't nothing about Holland. It ain't nothing about the Dutch West Indies or any of that.
The original topic. Yeah, Vaughn. Yeah, we got all that. Okay. Let's get back to the original topic of why I started this room.
And Vaughn takes it like a bitch because it's the only room he's got. These are the little things I like. So when when G-Man gets annoyed with Vaughn, and Vaughn takes it like a bitch. He gets a little slap, and he gets put back in the corner. Know your place, Vaughn. Shut your yap.
I want to talk about
Owen has fine women, though. I googled.
He's got to start wearing a bra, though. I mean, it's not even funny anymore.
A lot of them do.
That the atheist community has. We talked about this last time. I don't know if you ever saw this, Lulu or Lubis. This is theevilbible.com here. All right. So if you want to know about how to argue against slavery, rape, ritual human sacrifice, Jesus lied, Hitler was a Christian, which is nonsense. God is impossible.
Hitler was not a Christian.
So a website that criticizes anything that G-Man believes in. Though I will say probably if you actually want to be taken serious in a debate, you don't want to be using an outright hate site. You want to actually use cited academic papers, right? That goes for pretty much anything if you're looking to actually debate. But these clowns are not looking to debate. You just saw them get corrected on what should have been just like you've seen their MO. We all know, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, folks. But I mean, you really do want to bang your head against the wall sometimes just listening to it. But hey, we do it to ourselves. That's why we're watching. We love to watch it. We're gluttons for punishment. But my goodness. Now I don't want to get a whole, bogged down with this whole atheist thing. That was, I think, pretty much what I wanted to show out of there.
Speech a minute ago. The U.S. Supreme Court has repeatedly ruled that hate.
Oh, this is just where G-Man wants his own time. Go ahead.
Bunch of ads about how to protect yourself.
I hope I didn't give you Corona crap instead. I wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to have been Bill.
About Corona.
There's a conversation down here about something, but I'm not exactly sure. But listen, folks, what is the moral of the story here tonight? We looked at heroes. We started with heroes, but it just quickly devolved into zeros. It just, the moral of the story is it's better to let people think you the fool than to open your toothless, stinking rat trap and prove it. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, Von Helton's an idiot. Newsflash, Von Helton is still a moron. Film at 11. My goodness, jeepers creepers, folks. But you know what? That's what I got for tonight. I think we're just over the 3-hour mark. Again, I'm trying to keep these a little shorter, a little more compact, so we can have some time to hang out over on Discord. So if anybody wants to have a little bit of a conversation, I'll go over there for a bit. So that link is in the description. Please come over and join. Again, thank you for those that helped out with the broadcast ass computer fund. I do appreciate that. And I will keep you posted on that exciting announcement that I'm edging you guys all towards. Again, I don't want to let you down. I don't want to promise that I got a clown for the birthday party. And it ends up just being your touchy old drunk uncle, that's in from out of town. I'm not going to do that to you guys. But something's coming. There's been a disturbance in the force. That's all I can say. And there's been a ripple. And some of the old order have beckoned the call. That's all I can. I've said too much. I have to go, folks. Listen, thanks a lot for coming. Again, if you want to go over to Discord, I can pop in there for a bit. We can have a little chitty chat, a little fireside. Thank you, everyone, for showing. Until next time, Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.